can't relate.
We're transitioning, and now we're live. Well, hello everyone, and welcome to tonight's episode of Side Quests, where I have taken over from Fox. I am both storyteller and producer. I'm giving Fox a night off, honestly. Been a stressful couple of weeks with the whole charity thing and all that, so everybody deserves a breather. That's why you got me tonight. So hi, I'm Throck. I'm the co-founder here at Welcome to the Party. You can find me at Throck Plays, and we're going to be running 7C. How exciting is that? If you don't know what 7C is, it's a game of swashbuckling, daring do, sea tales, and pirate shanties. I don't know that we'll be singing any pirate shanties, but you know what I mean. There will be panache, I promise you that, and possibly verve. But before we get started, let's go around and say hi to the team. And we will start with Rain. Tell us who you are, who you're playing.
I am Rain Hayes, and I will be playing, so far as I know, Roderick Sturmhot, who is cannot remember what that part was called. Something.
Monster Hunter.
Monster
Hunter. That's the important part. I kill monsters.
Yes. From the Civil War-torn lands of fantasy Germany in this world called Eisen.
Eisen, that's what I was.
Yes. Yep. Let's do Meg next.
Oh, shoot. Okay. Hi. I am playing Sulla, the Highland warrior poet, with a song in her heart and a pistol at her side. And I show a little leg, maybe. I don't know.
You do what you gotta do.
I show my leg to inspire my comrades. And yeah, that's me.
Yeah. Sweet. And you are from the Enchanted Isles, the islands of Avalon, Innismore, and the Highland Marches, which are fantasy England, essentially. Sweet. Let's do Ulfrig next.
Hi, I'm Shannon, going by Ulfrig online, and tonight that is also my character's name. And she is the Vestin Explorer. So if Indiana Jones were from Norway, that's what you would get, I think.
Indeed. Yes, and Vestin is the Scandinavian cognate in the game. And it's a bunch of people who used to be Viking around and doing Viking things, who have turned into aggressive traders and explorers. And last but not least, Jago, I always say it wrong, and I've said it wrong like 4 different ways.
That's fine. It's Jago, but
Jago.
I mean,
Okay.
like, I'm gonna complain.
Right.
Tonight, I will be playing Rafael Delgado de Carago from Castile. He is a duelist trained in the Aldana style of swordsmanship, wielding rapier with skill and flair.
And
He sounds hot. The bard's going after him now. Hello.
Yeah. And Castile is the kind of Spanish cognate in the game, kind of Spanish-Portuguese. And before we begin, 7C is a game set in essentially the high period of piracy. It's even 1666 in the game, so the timeline is very similar to the historical timeline as well, except there's a couple of key differences. The Western countries failed at colonizing the New World and have some outposts in the Atabian Sea. The Atabian Sea. That's the first time I've said it out loud. In fact, this is the first time we're all playing this tonight, so we're all learning together. I've read the rules a bunch. I know Jago's read the rules a bunch, but we're all learning as a group tonight. And so we are playing a crew of a ship, perhaps pirates, perhaps privateers, who are going off on an adventure. There's a couple of basic things in this game that are very different than other games in the way that you kind of roll dice. So instead of saying, like, I roll a die and I see on that die whether I get a success or fail, you roll a bunch of dice. And then you try and make tens out of sets of those dice. And the more tens you get, the more actions you can do in a round. These are called raises. You spend those to do things. The other thing that you will all hear used in this game are hero points. This is a game where you are A, not expected to die, and B, expected to do amazingly awesome, super, swashbuckly sorts of bits, and you do that with hero points. You can use hero points for all kinds of things, adding an extra die to your roll, activating someone else's special ability, activating your own special ability, adding 3 dice to another person's roll, all sorts of stuff. But the counterpoint is that the villains are also extra squidgy and bad, and they get danger points. And I start the game with 4 danger points that allow me to do things in the world to try and foil those evil heroes and their stupid plots to help people and be heroic and stuff. And that's the basics of it. We each have kind of a pool of awesome things we can do, and we roll some dice and we see what happens, just like every other role-playing game on the planet. So I hope you enjoy as we go into tonight's game. Is everybody ready to get started?
I guess it's too late to back out now, so.
It is too late to back out now.
Depends on what my internet does.
Yeah. All right. So, 2 weeks ago, your ship, the Lady of Carleon, docked at a small Avalonian port called Ripley's Rest. It was an odd landfall. 2 entire ship's crew were hanging from gibbets along the docks. However, one of your crew, Grump McTavish, was from here, and he assured you all was well, and the governor was simply overzealous about prosecuting pirates. While you had a mission to do, you did take enough time to get a little information, and it did turn out both crews were hung out by the governor, having been brought up on charges of piracy and assaulting Avalonian ships, and each in turn slaughtered the crew of those ships, and so they got the same penalty in return. Serves a pirate right, you think, before giving it very little additional thought and heading out for a grand adventure in the jungle. Thus, you spent the last few weeks deep in the forests of St. Alabaster Island, delving through ancient ruins in hopes of finding an artifact related to the ancient civilization known only as Cyrnith. Sadly, you didn't find any artifact, but you were able to scoop up enough coin and valuables to make sure the trip wasn't an entire bust. Now, after a quick jaunt back through the jungle, with treasure in tow, you find yourself back at the small palm log walled outpost of Ripley's Rest. Except this time, the gates are closed, and 2 civilians with muskets stand stern-faced and watchful, ensuring that no one enters. At this point, I turn the scene over to you, as we have encountered our first conflict in the game.
Raphael steps forward, hand cautiously upon the hilt of his rapier, but otherwise amiable as he steps forward, going, Buenos tardes, amigos. Oh, we have a ship past these walls that we would like to reach. Is this going to be a problem?
No one's allowed in or out right now, one of them says. He's youngish, but he seems very on guard. He's carrying what looks like almost a 60-year-old rifle. These days people use a flintlock system, but his has got like this little burning piece of wick on it. From days,
it's a matchlock.
It's a matchlock from days long past. And so obviously this is someone who was recently drafted to help out for some reason. He goes, no one's allowed in or out while we deal with the piratical crew that just came in. What ship is yours? The Lady of Carleon.
Yeah, that one.
Yep.
I was like,
Right.
lady something.
Yeah.
Gonna think about if I wanted to answer that or not.
Okay.
One chick. Can I? Okay, so this is. I'm already doing this.
Okay, what are you doing?
Can I spend a hero point?
Already? Yes, I would love to take a hero point from you. What are we doing?
I have a thing, and I actually made sure that I set these aside so I can read them fully earlier.
I'm actually going to bring out some markers. Okay.
I can spend a hero point to intimidate a character into backing down from a threat, letting you into somewhere he shouldn't, or otherwise getting out of your way.
Oh, nice. Okay. You can absolutely spend a hero point doing that. And he looks at you, and how do you stare him down? I want to know how your character, this gruff, German-esque monster hunter with a giant two-handed sword strapped to their back, or wherever you choose to strap it, where does it, hashtag alludes, how do you stare this poor peasant down?
Well, I imagine so. I've seen people carry Zweihanders before, and they don't actually strap them to their back. They hold onto the strap.
Yeah.
So I'll just step forward, swing it around, and grab it by the hilt.
Okay.
Stare at him for a moment and go, move.
And he looks over at his partner, and he looks at you, and he looks back over at his partner, and goes, "Oh, all right, but if you're coming in, you should probably go talk to the governess. She's needs to know who's coming in and out of the city." Okay. And then they'll both like step to either side, and like they're made out of palm logs, and like they're kind of spiky tipped on the top, and they kind of encircle the whole settlement, which is probably 3,000 people. And they both kind of open up the doors, and simple dirt road into a very nice. It looks like it's a well-established. You were here before, a very well-established, small port town. That's primarily made up of either like white painted stone building or some older shacks that have probably been here for a long time sitting up on stilts. But it has a very Avalonian feel to it, so it has like a very British colonial feel to it as you enter. And you know that if you are planning on going to the governor's villa, you know that the governor's villa is kind of up in the center of town on a small rise. It's not like a hill, it's just kind of you go up to it. But you have gained entrance to the city through the use of a hero point, and I now have a new danger point. So, what happens next?
I say we go in.
It
Into the
appears.
town?
Yes.
Yeah.
It appears we may need to speak to this governess in order to find a way to get our ship to leave port.
All right, but do you think that she'll let us go through?
Well, I am sure, looking over at Roderick, that we can find ways to be very convincing.
All right, I'll go with you.
Okay. Walking through the town is kind of weird. People were on edge when you were here before. They were worried about the piracy issue, but they felt like everything was okay because they had handled the two crews that had apparently been reaving the seas around here for a little while. Now, they seem super on edge. They seem like the next shoe is about to drop. This is as small as it is the only source of export. It's the only export port on St. Alabaster, and so it is a place of importance for Avalon in that it is the place where you get the stuff from on this island. And so people seem kind of worried, and they're kind of like murmuring at each other, and when they see you walk through, there's a lot of stares as you move through, and you make your way up to this wonderfully appointed villa, 2 stories with this white painted wooden facade and these like very open porches around it, and these big billowy windows with these very kind of light satin sheets flowing, allowing airflow through. You make your way up the steps, and there is a guard there. It looks like he's more there pro forma than to like actually stop anyone from coming in, but he will ask, "What's your business?"
We are newly arrived in town, and we wish to speak with the governess.
Lots of people come into town all the time. They don't all get to speak with the governess. Why do you want to? Busy lady.
There was a gentleman at the gates who suggested it might be a good idea. Apparently, you're having some difficulty with some pirates.
Oh, no more difficulty. We got the whole crew. Put them in the jail.
The crew of what ship, may I ask?
I believe it was the Lady of something. Carleon, maybe. They attacked an Avalonian frigate 3 days ago offshore. And then they brazenly came back in. It was crazy. It was the weirdest thing I've ever seen.
And you saw this with your own eyes?
Well, I heard the cannon shot. It's about 8 miles away where I believe the battle happened. In a little place we call Smuggler's Island. I don't think it has an actual name. Why do you care so much?
It pays to be informed of what occurs within the Atabini, of course.
Indeed. So, what's your business with the governess?
Raphael's
We may
gonna,
have-
nudge someone else.
We may have some information about that ship that she would find quite helpful.
Oh, all right. Well, I'll go in and tell her. I'll be right back. See if we can make some time for you. This is a very busy place. You see folk who are obviously traders, people who are from different countries, kind of either inside in the windows chatting to each other. This is the central governing hub of this whole island, her house. And so it is apparently a place to see and be seen on top of everything else. And a few minutes later, he comes back out and goes, yes, she will see you, surprisingly. Okay, why don't I take you in?
That sounds most excellent.
Walking in, Sela, you notice this more than Sela? Sela, you notice this more than anybody else. This place looks like an Avalonian home on the inside. It feels like you're back in the Emerald Islands. They obviously have spent an exorbitant amount of money shipping stuff over that's been handcrafted on the other side of the ocean. And that takes a lot of cash. Some of it seems relatively old, too. As if this person has been established here or their family has been established here for a while. The guard will take you into kind of a sitting room, passing a few conversations along the way. You get a few looks, but nobody here seems like weirded out that you're here in the same way that the villagers were. They're just like, oh, who's that? Never seen them before, right? And you're taken into a plushly appointed sitting room. And you're going to have a few minutes if you want to share any conversation before she shows up.
All right, gang. What do you think we should tell the lady, the lassie?
Probably not which ship we belong to.
Fair, but do we know about the other ship? Do we know anything that the other crew would know about us?
The problem that I see is they did not exactly give pirates a very warm welcome when we first arrived here. I certainly do not want to find myself upon the gallows. But this talk of the Lady of Galleon engaging a frigate, of all things upon the sea, this is madness. Our ship is way too small to attack any sort of official military. Somebody
Ulfric,
is
what do you
lying.
think? Should we give her any clues as to who we are? Or should we just say that we're the crew of the other ship?
Unfortunately, we do not look like Avalonian Navy.
When we came in, were we the only ship in dock?
No, there were a number of ships in dock at the time. The largest was a galleon from the Atabian Trading Company.
I want to know what Seagull does out.
Wait, I'm sorry. Did you say the ATC is here?
Yeah, I did. I said that.
You did. You said that. Of course. Shit. Because I know things, but I don't know things. So.
You would all know that the Atabian Trading Company is awful, and are they're like the East India Trading Company. If the East India Trading Company was even worse.
I didn't think that was possible.
Yeah.
All right. Well, then, who are we? Should we just go along with our names? Do you think the other crew knew who we were?
We came in from inland.
We arrived here upon the Lady of Carrion, however. If they impounded the ship, they may have gotten a manifest. They would have our names.
I think it would be worth finding out what this governess wants. So perhaps there is something that she would be willing to trade for a ship or a crew or both.
Now I see exactly how the Vested managed to make all of us bend over for Gilbers.
I mean, I'll bend over for her any day.
We'll put that to the test later, my darling.
I love a good bit of lewd. All right, and at that moment, the door swings open, because that is exactly when that would happen. The door swings open, and in walks this immaculately dressed in long black pants with high red leather boots, shined almost to a mirror sheen, a blue officer's coat, essentially, with golden buckles and golden brocade along the front, and a flowy kind of white sailor shirt underneath. This woman in her late 40s, early 50s, she's graying at the temples, but has her hair pulled back in a simple ponytail. And she looks around at the four of you and very properly sits down and goes, "So, I heard you have additional information for me about the Lady of Corleone and her attack on one of our Navy's ships 5 days ago."
Out of character, how long were we in the jungle?
2 weeks.
2 weeks. Okay. That's a lot of time. Okay.
Yeah.
We have information that may be of value, but we would be looking for something in trade, perhaps.
First, I don't do business with people I do not know. I am the governor of this island. My name is Lady Sybil Ripley.
Pleasure to meet you, Sybil Ripley. I am Ulfric Skjaldsdottir.
I don't know how you pronounce that.
And now we know.
So, we've managed to have this opportunity to meet Lady Ripley. Perhaps you can tell us how we might be of assistance, or perhaps how you might be of assistance to us in order to get our information.
My primary concern is the punishment of these people. We already have them in jail, and I plan to hang them in 2 days. Their barrister has disappeared, has decided not to take the case anymore, I guess. They were assigned in due course legal representation. We met together a few times, and then off he went. I don't believe there's any defending them. They were seen by many. We even have an eyewitness, a survivor, who can vouch to the fact that these are the people who slaughtered his crew to a man.
Well, not quite to a man, if there's a survivor.
To all but one man. Then.
And
very
do you know where the survivor might be?
We have him under close guard until this whole affair is wrapped up. He's been... The loss of his entire crew has compromised him a bit.
And yet you trust him to determine the fates of an entire crew.
No, I trust the fact that the entire crew is dead, and many saw it happen. It was only 8 miles from here. A simple spyglass look watched the altercation occur.
If that were the case, nobody found it odd that a smaller trading ship such as the Lady of Corleone was able to overpower an entire frigate?
I do not have the mind of a pirate. I have the mind of a governor. I do not know what drives pirates to do suicidal acts that they do so often, but I will punish them when they do it.
Not for nothing, but when our invasion was turned aside in Avalon, at least you put up a fight then. One ship cannot hold off a single trading company ship.
What do you want me to say? I'm no sailor. So,
But you so readily trust that they would be pirates. That
they
there's
attacked
no
a member
other.
of our navy. What else could they be?
Are you sure
Montaigne
that they
spies?
attacked? Did you witness it?
Many here on the shore did. The man in that hospital bed said that's what happened.
And it was the crew that was known by face of that ship that attacked directly on his crew.
They sailed back into port afterwards, singing Innish songs of victory. It was them. Without a doubt.
Would you happen to know the names of the crewmen on the ship?
I'm sure we have a list somewhere. We impounded everything in the ship, including probably the manifest.
I don't like having my suspicions confirmed.
So
Would
what's
you be able
this?
to procure these
Mhm.
manifest? So you say, would you be able to procure to give us the manifest, just so we could look over it?
No. I don't know you. You offered information, and yet you have given me none?
So, can I leverage a reputation at this point? Is that a thing that I can do?
You could.
I could.
What are
Okay.
you thinking? What are you thinking?
So Raphael's reputation is honorable.
Okay.
And so at that point, he will stand up, straighten out his shoulder cape, and adjust his hat just a little bit, and go, "My lady governess, my exploits are known throughout most of Castile and Bea, that the Delgado family has always honored all of its debts, has always fought for justice with steel and spirit. I understand that there are many questions about the fate of this crew, but allow us to help you, and upon my family's name, which in Castile we do not give unless we are prepared to die for it, that we shall get to the bottom of what has happened here. So much seems as if somebody is trying to pull the wool over all of our eyes. But perhaps, just perhaps, we can find a way to find out who means to undo you and the crew of an innocent ship."
I do not agree that they're innocent, but if you want to spend your time investigating them, well, you have 48 hours before they go to the gallows. If you happen to find evidence in that time that they are innocent, feel free to bring it to me and it will be duly weighed. This is not a place without justice.
You are most gracious, governess.
So, may I help you with anything else? No?
How do you get your boots so shiny? I'm just curious.
I pay someone quite a good deal every morning to do just that for me.
Of course.
What a life.
Okay. Yeah.
Ulfrig, do you want to do you want to go see if we can talk to the gentleman?
I think that would be an excellent idea.
And with that, then I guess I shall take my leave. Please, continue to use the room if you need it. It's not spoken for another few hours.
Thank you, my lady. Would it be possible to have a guide to lead us to the gentleman's room?
No, I believe everyone is engaged at the moment, attempting to keep the populace from lynching that crew.
Fair enough. Thank you.
Of course. And she gets up with a flourish and walks out the door, closing them behind her. Just to be clear, you learn 3 pieces of important information there. 1, that people saw the battle happen. 2, that they had a barrister, which is a lawyer, but nobody's seen him in 3 days. And 3, the third, there are 4 actually. Third piece of information is that the crew was locked up in the jail, and 4, that there was an eyewitness who she let slip was in the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
What happens next?
I say this eyewitness must be talked to as quickly as possible. If barristers are disappearing, who's to say that he will not soon as well?
I agree.
Might be worth talking to some of these nervous townspeople as well and find out exactly why they're so nervous about events that everyone up here seems to think is quite straightforward.
So, shall we do that just on the way to the gentleman in the hospital?
Did you also? It sounded like you also wanted to talk to the crew. Did I get that wrong?
Ugh.
That's what I thought. I thought I heard Sela say that. Sela say that.
Yeah, I was like, wait, hold on, let me go back to my ramblings.
I'm just trying to get an idea for your approach here. Is all.
I mean, I'm game if everyone else is.
I think first people on the street, then witness, then crew.
Sure, that works.
Have something
Sure.
to take to the crews when we talk to them.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this
Especially
now.
considering the crew isn't going anywhere. So.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we have now
Opportunity.
reached our first dramatic sequence of the game. There are a certain number of pieces of information out in the world that you can find. There are also now, unsurprisingly, forces working against you.
Shocker.
There are, what I would like to ask each of you to do is tell me, in the course of this investigation, as we narrate through it, you're going to have some raises to spend. You're going to have some actions and successes and defenses as we play through the scene. So what I'd like each of you to do is tell me how you want to approach this. And by approach, I mean what skill and what trait do you want to roll together, and why is that the narratively appropriate way for your character to do this thing?
I was like, oh god, higher thinking.
Can I? Would it be? I think it's resolve and notice to basically, because we're trying to glean information from the public before we go speak to the witness, and even when we're speaking to the witness, we're going to be looking for clues that he's not telling us, and when we talk to the crew, we're going to look for clues that they may not know. So, can I do resolve and notice as my hunter's my monster hunting instincts kind of take over to find information?
Yeah, I'm good with that. Resolve and notice. You can go ahead and roll that.
Okay. There's notice.
And remember, you can spend a hero point to add an additional die to your pool. And this is the first, so two things we need to do here. One, you can spend a hero point to add a die to your pool, a hero point to add 3 dice to somebody else's pool, and the first time you roll a skill in a scene, you get +1 die. So, add 1 die to your roll at the very least. Okay, so you got 4 raises. That's awesome.
Roll 20 likes you.
Yeah, did you add the 1 die? Or is
No,
that
I did not.
Okay, just go /R space 1d10. How many skill do you have in that, by the way? In notice, it should be 5, right?
4.
Oh, you have 4? Okay, so you actually got, I need to look at this. So the better you are at something, the better you do at it. You actually got 6 raises. 6 raises. You got a total of 6 raises, because for you, every 15 is 2 raises, as opposed to every 10 being 1 raise.
Oof.
So in this case, 15, 30, 45 is 2, 4, 6. 6 raises. You'll have 6 raises to spend during the scene. Cool? All right, who wants to go next?
It was kind of a neat system.
And write that down, by the way.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm torn between convince and empathy, but I kind of want to be like Stella about it. And so I kind of want her to be a little like not super flashy and obvious, but as she goes up and approaches people, she's very much just kind of like, hey. And
which feels like an empathy to me, right?
Yeah, that's what I was torn between, was like convince or empathy, because it was more of like trying to convince someone to give me information.
Well, if you're saying convince in the scale, now I'm convinced to convince.
The hey works, didn't it?
Hey, yeah.
So doing convince and panache, just to be a little flashy with it.
I like it.
To try and like spice it up and see if I can seduce somebody into being like, ooh, information for a hot pair of boobs. Like, I do it again.
Love it. So yeah, you're going to get +1 die to begin with, and you can spend a hero point to add an extra die, or anyone else can give you a hero point to add 3 dice.
I think I'll just add the extra die.
Okay.
So how does...
So it's going to ask
if-
you for bonus dice.
Oh, okay, there we go,
You'll
yes.
plug in 1.
Okay.
Yep.
So 0 for penalty, 1 for bonus, and submit.
All right. So you, how many skill do you have in convince? What is your skill
4.
rating? You have 4. All right. So you got 2, 4, 5. You got 5 raises. Had you hit
Okay.
45, you would have gotten 6 raises.
Well, if she has at least 3 ranks, she can re-roll a single die, right?
Oh, that is true. Reroll that 1. We're all learning the system together.
I was like, wait,
So-
how do...
Oh, /R space 1d10.
Okay.
Yep. Okay, yeah, that's going to be 3 raises, or 6 raises. Nicely done.
I was typing the thing.
And that was convince, right? Convince. Sweet.
Yes, it
Okay,
was
who wants to go next?
Convince and panache.
Excellent.
I'll go next.
Okay.
We'll say that Raphael is actually going to use empathy and panache. He's going to try and feel out like who's lying to us, what exactly these people are feeling here. But he's Castilian. It's through storytelling and getting, very closely involved with them through wine and song and such.
For sure.
So let's make that roll. Let's see, no penalty, 1 bonus for flair.
Okay, that's awesome.
And I have 3 ranks, so I'm gonna reroll one of those threes.
Nice. So you're currently, if you got 3 ranks in it, you're currently sitting on 4 raises. 5 raises.
There we
Nicely
go.
done. Yeah.
Okay.
Y'all are killing it on this first roll. Y'all are kicking my ass. And
Which
the
means
last but
we're
not-
screwed for the rest of the game.
Yes, you will be screwed for the rest
Pretty
of the
much. Pretty much.
game. And last but not least, Ulfric.
I'm trying to fit. Is it okay if 2 people use notice in one
Yes.
go? So I'd like to use wits and notice. And while our Castilian friend is talking up everybody,
Mhm.
I would like to just kind of be hanging back a little bit and keeping an eye and basically like insight checking.
I love it.
Like,
Yep. Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. You're kind of sizing people up. You're kind of trying to figure out. Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. We've got
And
2
then
kind of
that's-
talkers at the lead, and then 2 kind of like we're watching out for shit. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, not great.
How many? What's your skill?
4.
Okay, so you're at 3 raises right now because 15 for 1, and then +1 for the additional. But you could re-roll that 1.
Ooh, cool.
Oh, you're at 2 raises right now. I'm bad at math. You'd have to hit 30 for. Oh my God!
Yes!
Yeah, there you go. That turns it into a 34, which makes it 4 raises. Nicely done.
Clutch reroll.
Clutch. All right, so that's you all. I also wrote it down so I can remember, and then I get to roll some dice as well. I'm going to spend a danger point to give myself 2 extra dice.
Ooh.
I have 4 raises,
Ah, shite.
and I have 4 danger points remaining. Okay, so we begin with you all going to speak to some folk around. There's a couple of places where you could kind of go talk to. There's a grog shop, the local bar, essentially. And then there are a lot of people around the jail. Are you more interested in one or the other?
Ulfric votes bar.
Raphael votes bar.
Okay.
Aldric votes bar.
Okay. So we make this bar, which for our purposes, we'll just call it the grog shop. Because I grew up near a bar called the grog shop. You're coming, yeah. And as you come in, it is actually relatively kind of calm in here because most people are drinking. And there's a few people around each of the tables. The tables here are relatively simple. It's barrels with kind of larger circular pieces of wood and like homespun sorts of chairs built around them. And the bar is actually sat on a bunch of barrels with a large plank on top of it. Behind it, there is a whole series of brown-looking bottles.
You have just described one of the hipster craft breweries in the town I live in. No joke.
Jesus. I was just like, what does a shitty bar feel like? What is it? If I walked into a bar and saw that, I would go, this place is kind of seedy. Okay. There is a barkeep up there doing their thing, kind of ruddy-faced. It's got big old mutton chops, kind of graying.
Well, I'm going to order a beer and go sit in a corner and watch everyone.
Okay. You can use a raise here to gather information.
Okay. I
If you
think
so
I would like
choose.
to.
I'm sorry, did you say there was a jewel thief?
Yes. No, so at any point in time, you can tell me I would like to spend a raise, which is one of your actions, to do X, Y, or Z, whatever that thing is you want to do. Because a raise gives you an immediate success. Raises are your successes. You just get to spend them in the scene whenever you need to. Rather than like rolling from thing to thing to thing to thing to thing, we are now in an information gathering scene. So as we walk in here, one of you can be like, I want to spend a raise to talk to that guy and get some important information from him. Ulfrid, you could be like, I want to spend a raise to like scan the bar and find an important piece of information, right? Those are, you just get to succeed because you already have the successes, right? And you're narrating to me how you succeed.
Okay.
We tell the story much more jointly in this than in a game like D&D, I think.
Very much so, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to go up and order my beer and then do that like classic kind of lean against the bar in a very like swashbuckler type of way and just scan the room and see if there's anyone who looks like they're drinking to forget that they saw a horrific battle at sea in which everybody died and stuff.
And you're spending a raise on that?
Sure.
Then yes, there is. There is someone who looks like they're drinking to forget.
Okay. And I just kind of make a significant look at one of my teammates who is better at talking to people than I am, and kind of do the head jerk of like, that's the one.
So not me.
Yeah.
I was like, Raphael, do you want to take him or should I?
I figured we could take them both together, but I'll follow your lead.
I'm down to share. Let's go.
Lewd.
Welcome to Sulla.
Yay.
Okay. So Sulla and Raphael saunter over to where Ulfrig signaled us. And we sit down and I just kind of throw my hair back and adjust the girls a little bit. And I'm just, hello.
Oh, hi.
What's your name, sir?
Tavish.
I'm sorry, did you say Tamish?
Tavish.
Oh, Tavish.
Yeah. What do you want?
Well, if I answered that truthfully. I noticed that you look a little sad here, dear. Could you tell me that, you know, your reason for being sad? What's got you down, my dear friend?
I watched the whole crew get slaughtered. It was terrible.
Oh my. Well, is there any way that my friend here and I can make you feel any better?
Oh, well, I don't much fancy his type, but I'm down for it if you are, lass.
Oh. And I just look over at Raphael. Come on. Well, my dear friend Mac, would it be possible if you could tell me a little bit more about the story? You see, my friend and I here are not from around here, and we noticed there was some stuff going on.
Would you like to spend a raise?
Sure.
To get that information. All right, Mark, all right. You should be at 5 raises now?
Yeah.
Aye. So there I was on Smuggler Island. I was just doing my business for the day. And out comes this small little sloop. It was the strangest thing. There off the quay was the Wrexham. It's one of the Avalonian frigates. And the thing just came right up to it, but it came with a cloud above it. And its sails, they seemed to shimmer with green light. And it seemed like there were 2 ships there instead of 1. And it straight engaged at fire leaping from its cannons. Green fire! And its crew attacked possessed like banshees, jumping over the gunnels and slaughtering the crew. The Wrexham still sits up to its gunnels in water just off the quay itself. There is living proof of a ghostly attack.
Oh my. And Stella's just there kind of like processing and trying to figure out something as she just kind of elbows Raphael to step in at any point.
Right. So Raphael will step in and basically take the chair next to him, turn it around, plop it down, and sit down upon it, and place his hand upon McTavish's shoulder and go, "Amigo, it sounds like a horrible day that you have had out upon the sea. Barkeep, dos vino, por favor."
What's that? What's vino?
I
Wine.
believe it's wine, my dear friend.
All right, 2 wine. Fine.
And I look at Raphael and go, only 2? How rude.
What kind of wine you want?
Whatever wine there is, I'm not picky.
Hang on, let me look. We've got red, and we've got reddish.
I believe the red will be fine.
Right, get him the red. And they come out with 2 glasses of. That's some old ass wine. That's got
Old
some
ass
nose
wine.
on it.
Love
Yeah.
old ass wine.
What do you want me to drink this?
Of course, to calm your nerves, of course.
Well, I'll take a free drink. Clang, and it's gone.
A man after my own.
You see, I saw much the same back in Castile. It was not long ago before we were fighting for our lives against those Montenois dogs. It can be a
Bastards.
harrow.
No one likes a
Man after,
Montaigne. They're bitches.
a man after my own heart. That I will certainly drink to the death of the Sun King. That
To
one
the death
day
of the Sun
Montaigne.
King.
But with that said, it can be a harrowing thing to see such senseless slaughter. This I know
indeed.
very well.
Aye.
But what you are describing sounds like, and Raphael leans in very, very close and brings his voice down to a whisper, sorcery, my friend.
Aye, it was sorcery. And at that moment, 2 guards come barging in as I am spending one of my raises to change the scene and look like they're about to drag this sailor away. You can choose between the group of you to spend 2 of your raises to stop them. You just have to tell me how.
I will suggest that I might have a hero point that can get rid of this.
Ooh, okay.
Raphael has stare down, and that I can literally just glare at someone until they back the fuck off.
Okay, so these 2 people dressed in the local livery come in with halberds and go, "Sorry, we gotta take this one away. Governor's orders."
And I will go ahead and spend that raise, spend that hero point.
Spend the hero point. Thank you for
Spend
the
the
danger
hero
point.
point.
I now have 6.
Stop
Oh
that.
no, I have 5. I have 5 now. Yes. Because I spent one earlier for dice.
And Raphael will just glare at them very pointedly, going, "Mis amigo and I are having a drink. You would not be so rude as to intrude upon this, see?"
What of it, Castilian? I'm gonna make you play this out a little bit more.
Apparently, Avalonians still need to learn manners. You see, back within the Ducado de Torres, it is incorrigibly impolite for you to impose upon wine between friends.
We got wine here.
Apparently, you do. As Raphael holds up the glass that he has not touched because,
Oh!
brave man though he is not that brave.
Yeah.
You'll have red wine and reddish wine.
Now, what I suggest is that my friend and I continue our small talk, for I am comforting him in his moment of grief, and you two shall proceed thusly to the bar, buy yourself whatever it is that you call alcohol in Avalon, enjoy your drink, and then get out of here.
Oh, we'll definitely take the drink. And then they go up to the bar.
Question, can I use come hither for this?
On one of them, definitely.
It's coming up sooner or later.
Something is.
Sproing!
Stella goes up to the bar to try and talk to the gentleman and figure out why specifically the governess wants to talk to the man.
Okay, so you can
And-
spend a raise to do that, because that's information gathering.
Yes.
Okay.
And I offer, to buy them a drink to get them to loosen up. And oh balls, I don't want to give you a danger point though.
Ulfrig in the corner kind of rolls her eyes slightly at this return to form.
I just glare at you like, shut up. You want answers or not? I go up to the gentleman and I just I sort of do the same little hair flip and lift and squeeze of the girls and go, barkeep, another 2 of your red wines, please.
Are you sure?
Oh, yes. Just kind of like
All right.
BSing an accident. And she goes, so tell me, lads,
Yeah?
what exactly does the governess want with this gentleman? It seems like he's been through hell enough.
Oh, he just wants to talk to him about something she told us to keep an eye on.
An eye
Well-
on what?
And he kind of looks at you, and then looks at your group, and then looks back at you. Oh, you.
Oh,
Yeah.
do you want to come keep a closer eye on me?
Yeah.
Well, let's go.
Oh,
And-
all right.
I use come hither.
Yes, use your yes. Use your hero points. Yes. Excellent.
Didn't want to, but I did.
Now remember,
Okay.
you also have virtues that if you play into them, or you have quirks that if you play into them, you get a hero point. You have a hubris
Okay.
that if you play into it, you get a hero point. So there are ways to gain these back as well.
Okay.
You can also fail a roll to get a hero point. So,
Interesting.
yes. Because sometimes you'll just make rolls not in a scene. I'll be like, make a check and we'll see what happens, right? And we'll determine the degree of success by how many raises you get. So,
Can I use ride as?
you take him out back, this little shack back there, and just kind of out back around the back. It's kind of where they keep all the... It's odd, there's like 3 other barrels of red wine back there. It's weird, along with everything else. They're dated from like 20 years ago. It's super gross. And what happens to him when you take him into the shack?
I talk to the gentleman and I'm like, so tell me more. As I just... Can you tap a wine barrel?
Yeah, you would tap a
Presumably
wine.
we walk in there with our wine glasses. And, I go, here's to you for you doing your job. And
Thank you.
we cheers and slam it back and go, oh, look, there's another barrel. Shall we drink it?
Sounds good to me.
Let's drink. And as, he progressively kind of gets a little bit more buzzed,
Yes.
I am using another raise
Okay.
to try and get more information as to what exactly the governess is trying to get him to keep an eye on.
For sure. He is both drunk and not super smart, but she thinks
Fine, neither am I.
It's fair. She thinks you all are troublemakers. She really wants to kill this crew, to impress some trade guy to show them that she's tough on piracy, and that's more important to her than the lives of some stupid pirates, and is all about, and absolutely does not believe in any way that there were ghosts. Also, although she heard a story about there being some ghosts or something, she's like, that's bullshit. They're just trying to get out of it. And then he passes out from the really bad wine.
I just go, well, that was disappointing. I didn't even get to use ride. Oh, well. And I'm just...
Oh, I like you. You're fun
Thank
to
you.
roleplay with. Cool.
Ow!
I didn't mean it weirdly. We've just never got a chance to roleplay before.
Lewd.
No way you can recover from that, Throck.
No.
Anyways, it is my duty as a storyteller to tell you that you have milked all of the information out of this location that you can.
To the jail?
Well, Raphael, did you find anything?
Oh, you were going to
I
continue your
found-
conversation. There might be more. Anyways, sorry.
Oh, sure. Sure. Buying the drink and trying to sympathize with the guy that,
Yeah.
we both have been through horrifying situations in our past, and we know that it's like,
Indeed.
and I'm trying to figure out that, like he's saying that he saw actual for real sorcery, which is like a big thing in Thea. This is not like D&D where there's just wizards fucking slinging spells everywhere. So
It
I
was
will use...
ghosts. Ghosts, I tell ya.
Raphael is like a bruja, or...
I don't know what that is.
So he will spend a raise. I will spend
Okay.
one of my raises here, where Raphael is basically asking for. He's trying to figure out, like, did this guy actually see this, or is he just like traumatized and drunk and like not really, like he's embellishing essentially.
Oh,
He wants to know,
Okay.
because mine was empathy. So
Yes. Yeah, and so I think that's keeping with your approach. So, he really believes this. This isn't him being drunk. He claims to have seen a ship superimposed over another ship, attacking a third ship.
Okay. And Raphael adds, like, and you are sure that the ship that made another ship was the Lady of Galeon?
100% absolutely.
Based on my background as a monster hunter, can
Yes.
I spend the raise to determine if that's how a ghost ship would act? It's like the crew is possessed.
Possession is very normal in ghostly situations. Ghosts will tend to act through a corporeal form unless they have been given significant power to do otherwise and be able to act on their own. Indeed. Anything
That's-
else you would like to accomplish here?
Is the other dude smarter?
No, they're guard level intelligence. I mean, yeah.
The only other thing I could think of would be to chat up the barkeep, but if we've got the information that we can get, then we might as well head to the jail.
Yeah. You mostly have the information that you will get. Yeah.
I tried, sorry.
There's an opportunity here for someone who has rolled
It was a
notice
valiant effort.
on your way to the jail. If anyone would like to spend a raise to notice something, you may on the way to
I'll
the
spend
jail.
a raise.
Okay.
That took no.
You are definitely being followed.
Other than the guard that was supposed to be following
No,
us in the first
these
place?
people are much more competent. They're like sticking to shadows. They're like hopping from crowd to crowd. They're for realsies. They're not like guards.
Can I'm going to kind of tap Ulfrig to get her attention and point this out, and then I'm going to peel off and see if I can like step into an alleyway without being noticed too bad.
Okay. What's your
I
intent?
want to see them. I want to see them as they go by.
Okay. So I'm gonna call for a separate roll here, as your thing was notice. You can't immediately succeed by spending a raise on notice to secretly sneak away, right? So what I would like you to do is it's stealth. Is it stealth in this game? All the skills are different. in every game.
Hide.
Make a hide check for me with an approach of your choice, or spend 2 raises because it's a different approach to just do it, which is called improvising. You can spend 2 raises to improvise and do something outside of whatever the roll you made was.
Well, I'm trying to get information about who these people are following us. Would wits count for that?
Yeah,
Well, could I use a notice and my eagle eye?
What is
now
your
that
eagle
he's
eye?
my eagle eye is, as long as you have clear line of sight, you can see perfectly out to a distance of 1 mile. If you use the spyglass, you can even pick out fine details, such as the inscription carved into a wedding band.
Damn.
Yeah,
if you
it's very good.
If you make a risk that relies heavily on your keen vision, you gain 1 bonus die. So would I be able to use a raise to just like thoroughly check out this guy and see if there's anything that ties him to another group, anything identifying?
You absolutely
if
can.
he has a name tag. Like,
Yes, they don't have name tags. They do carry 2 pistols. They are wearing the blue and white of the Atabian Trading Company, and they both appear to be some form of ATC agent.
okay, so there's 2 of them that are ATC agents with pistols.
Yep, and rapier each. And with that, you're going to try and slink off into a... So I'm going to need you to make a wits hide.
Okay.
And this is where you would get like the hero points for the extra dice rolls in a scene and stuff like that, right? It's when you're making those side rolls.
Yeah, but I really wanted to see what that did early on, so I spent 1 already.
Yeah.
I'm on the wrong screen. There we go. Really.
All right, so how many... Wait, you only rolled 3 dice? For wits
Yeah.
hide?
I don't
Okay.
have hide.
Oh, okay. Well, you got 1 raise that you can spend to succeed, but there are complications.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay. The complication here is that you have been able to hide from one of them, but not both of them.
Okay.
The danger is that there's 2 of them and they're highly trained, right? And so one of them, as they walk by, goes and peels off towards you down the alleyway. He goes, "I'll be back." And he just kind of sits there, leaning against the wall, maybe 30 feet from you, not looking directly at you.
So he's on me now.
Mm-hmm.
Well, fuck, I'll lead him on a wild goose chase.
All right.
I heard I'll eat him, and I was like, wow, you lucky.
I'll basically just keep going down the alley and rejoin a crowd.
Okay.
And
He'll be able to
I'll
follow
take
you
the-
easily.
Yeah, I'll take the scenic route.
And he will notice about 3 minutes into this that you're leading him on a wild goose chase because you have no raises to spend to convince him otherwise. And he is a professional. He is above a mook but below a villain. So he'll just peel off and go back to the group. Yeah.
Before he comes back, would I be able to try and pick the pocket of the other one while he's alone?
Absolutely. Yes.
Sweet. I
So
want to
there's
do that and see if there's
2
anything cool and incriminating.
There's 2 ways you can do that. You can spend 2 raises to just do it. Or you can make a roll.
I will try the roll.
Okay. And remember, you all have hero points.
Oh no, we learned our lesson. We're not spending those now.
Okay.
I'm going to try and pickpocket him using finesse. So as he's kind of wandering around, or as he's kind of investigating, going, wait, what's going on? I'm just, shoop, in goes the
Okay.
hand, out comes the hand.
Yep. You got
Holy
5
shit.
raises. Okay. Damn. You actually probably got more than that. What's your skill in pickpocket?
My skill in pickpocket is 4.
4. So you got 2, 4, 6, 7 raises,
Okay.
but you can re-roll the 7 to try and get an 8th raise. I wouldn't, because you rolled a 7, but
Oh, and even if it's lower, I have to take the new number?
you have to take the lower number. Yeah.
No, I'll stick with a 7. The odds
Okay.
are much better that it'll...
Okay. Well, there's a couple complications and a couple opportunities here. One, you'll be able to pick their pocket. One raise will allow you to pick their pocket. Now, they are eagle-eyed, just like you, so you will have to spend 2 raises to get over that and not be noticed. Cool. There's
I'll do
also
that, yeah.
2 opportunities for secret knowledge. And 1 additional danger that I'm holding in my pocket that you can negate with a raise. In other words, you can do it, get 2 pieces of information and avoid the danger, or get 3 pieces and take the secret danger, which is not getting noticed, it's something else entirely, or negate the danger, negate the secret danger, and get 1 piece of information.
I want 3 pieces of information because I
Nice.
am curious,
Okay.
and and that is my virtue or quirk.
It would be a
My
quirk.
is that I'm curious.
Awesome. So
So-
you will gain a hero point.
Woo!
Okay.
Nice.
So you spent the 1 to do it. You spent 2 to avoid getting noticed, and then got 3 pieces of information. Is how that worked. So the secret danger happens, and I'll have to tell you what that is right away. However, you are given a key. You grab a key. And we don't have any sorcerers. Yeah. Okay. Just checking. You grab a key and 2 envelopes out of his coat as you kind of brush past.
Brilliant. So, let's see. So I've still got Raphael and Salah there as well. Either of you guys feeling clever and sleight of handy? I'm gonna say
I just the temptation to make bad jokes.
I wasn't thinking that.
I love you guys.
Okay.
You guys are great.
I was thinking I could pass someone the key in case the secret danger comes up to me, or something.
You absolutely could.
Stella, I think you're on mute.
Story of my life. Okay. That would be aim and finesse, right?
Are you going to shoot someone?
I don't know, maybe. If I miss the key, is that how this works?
I think Ulfric's intention was just to hand it to you.
Yeah, that's it. I just
Oh, I thought you were gonna like throw it across the crowd or something. I didn't realize like we were still close by.
It's a non-defined narrative area as you're walking towards the jail. Right, so you can easily, there's no like 5-foot movement. It's like, I'm going to walk back up to them. Remember, this is a pirate movie, right? Or this is a swashbuckling movie. This is not a tactical game. So your
honestly,
fiction...
I was thinking of we've just come from the bar. We do the drunk girl thing of like, oh my god, wait, you guys, I'm coming, and pass you the key as we're doing that. But it's so not swashbucklery.
No, but that works.
It works.
Okay, yeah,
Sounds
let's
good to me. Oh my god, you guys! Sorry.
So, yeah, I'm guy because I definitely got noticed by this guy. So I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry, and like, guys, wait up, I'm coming, and just up and slip the key to Sela as I come
Okay.
up.
Sweet. Now, Sela has the key, and you have the 2 envelopes.
I have the 2 envelope.
Awesome.
And like, Sela just like grabs your hand to kind of like pull you steady, grabs the key, and just kind of like adjusts the girls to like stash the key.
Yep. Sweet.
Perfect.
And with that, you will make your way to the jail. There's a large crowd out front who seem to be calling for the blood of this crew. Improvised gallows are being built just on the other side of the square from the jail. And it's a pretty efficient-looking gallows, like 10 at a time. And it looks like there's 4 guards trying to hold the crowd back, some of whom are super upset, as if maybe there was some family members who were on that ship, who lived here, or something.
When I rejoin them, can I have a meat pie?
You can absolutely have a meat pie.
Just walking up, eating a meat pie.
And Sal is literally just like, what?
Roderick, where did you get that?
Street vendor.
You stole his meaty pie.
No.
Great.
It's just like, All right. Well, shall we see what they're all irked about?
I'm going to hang close to Roderick, and as everyone's checking out the crowd, try and read my letters while I've got this big bruiser standing next to me.
Okay.
Is Roderick the bruiser, or is it the guard that was following you?
So it's 2 letters. One is to the ATC, to the headquarters of the ATC on Angel Island. I think it's Angel Island, right? I think that, what is it? It's Angel Island now.
It's Angel Island.
Yeah. Okay. Which says the preparations are complete. It's we do believe that the pirate situation has now been squashed, and we are going to go forward with the trade deal with the governor. She is planning on executing. By the time you receive this message, the crew will have been executed, and we think that will calm the populace down enough to allow regular trade and possibly some slaves to come our way, and that would be super helpful. Love, your minion. Rodrigo
Well, that's one
de
person we have
Montoya
to
de
kill.
Castile the Fourth. Yeah.
Hashtag trade for days.
And the other one is to another person within the Explorers Society, which is it's the most open of the secret societies, which goes, "Dear sir, there are ghost pirates here. We don't know how to fix that. We will pay you a lot of money. Please help us."
I love that. We pissed off the spirit and don't know what to do.
P.S. This key was found on the ship that was recently inhabited by ghosts.
I have a ghost key in my tits, is all I heard.
That is correct. You have a ghost key in your boobulars.
It just starts floating. Oh. I'm just having to like.
This one is party tit.
Okay. Keep going with the scene while I think about that, because
Okay.
that's part of why I'm doing it.
Party tit or the letters?
Both.
What happens, team?
Well, does Ulfrig share this information with us, or are we all reading the letters, or... Okay.
Let me see key.
Come and get it.
No.
Well, then don't do that. Then you don't get a key, my dear, sorry.
You want ghost tit?
I like my ghost tit, yes, thank you.
I stab ghost tit.
Things must really be bad and nice.
If you're trying to win my heart over, you missed.
Okay, so
Why don't we first stop our own crew from being hanged by this rather zealous crowd?
what are we doing?
I will spend
Here
a
we go.
raise
Ghost.
to stop.
One.
Apparently getting
I
stabbed
will-
in my party tit. I don't know.
For the record, he said that. He didn't do that.
So I spend a raise to go stop the zealous crowd from being a zealous crowd. I
So
don't
what-
want them to be that anymore.
They are in danger, and so it will take more than one race to do. I'm
Okay.
interested. Empathy is a perfectly good approach to go after them. So how? What is your how do you empathize with them to get them to kind of calm down a little bit?
How do I? Okay. Well, let's see. How honest do I want to be today? I'm Castilian, so half honest.
Half honest. Honest enough
honest.
to meet your definitions of honor, but not so honest
There
that
we
you get yourself stabbed unnecessarily.
Yeah, because that would be terrible, wouldn't it?
It would. Your family would be so mad.
Oh, so mad. They like not able to continue the family line, not able to pass down these impeccable swordsman skills. It'd be just
Obviously
awful. Mom would be
genetic.
so disappointed.
Yeah.
Obviously. Oh my god, that sounds so fucking gross to say.
I know,
Anyway,
it's
so
gross.
Raphael will come in front of the crowd and basically like hold up his hands and then be like, people, are we animals out here in the Atabean? Have we lost all sense of our minds the moment we stepped off of Thea's sacred shores? You bay and call for blood as if you are simple sheep and wolves. Thank you, Salah.
I'm going to spend a danger point. One of the crowd steps up and goes, "Don't listen to this bastard! He doesn't want us to have our justice! We should tear him down with the rest of that crew!"
That is when I pull back a little bit on my cloak and reveal the pin of the Duelist Guild that I have there instead. And leaning close, going, "Amigo, do not speak to me about justice. When have you ever wielded steel in order to defend someone's honor, to make sure that an innocent man is not hanged? I have. Can you say the same?"
Are you willing to spend a second raise?
Yes, I will.
He,
So that's 2 raises.
okay. He will look sheepish and back off and go, "Bloody duelists." And back into the crowd and shut up.
Okay.
Yeah.
But with that, Raphael will basically say that we have been appointed by the governess in order to try and get to the bottom of what has occurred here. It is far more complex than simple piracy, as some of you may have heard. But we cannot lose our sense of propriety and dignity just because we are so far from home. What would Theus think?
He's kind of right. We're kind of being assholes. I don't know about that. I mean, we could probably hang them, yes. I don't know. Well, maybe. I don't know, but maybe we shouldn't just be out here. I've got work to do and things. I guess you're kind of right. There's this murmuring through the crowd as they...
I'll take murmuring as long as they're not screaming.
Yeah, but they slowly start to disperse. One of the guards will come up and go, "Thank
Stella's
you."
just in the back, like. You performed better than I did.
Small tip of the hat there. I just need the right audience.
One of the guards will come up and go, "Thank you. Been having a problem with them for the last 4 days. That was impressive."
I agree there, sir.
No hay ninguna problema. I just want to make sure that justice is served here, and justice of the mob is not the way to do this.
I agree. Are you here to see the prisoners?
If we could, por favor.
Yeah, well, they're kind of crammed in. Bit of a state down there. All right, come on in. You said you're with the governor. That's enough for me. Come on. And he'll take you into the jail, which is a large kind of rough stone construction. Takes you into the basement, which is just, as you come down the stairs, it's almost pitch black in here, and he grabs a torch, and there's a single, like, grate at the back that's kind of shedding light in. And as he puts the torch over each of the kind of cells down this hallway, you see people who are your crew, your family, the people you've been sailing with, kind of, one of whom over there has a broken leg. There's a few people with gunshot wounds. Well, they were in some fighting, right? And they look disheveled, and if they haven't seen the light of day for like a week, like they're not being properly fed and watered, I guess. And they look in just the worst state, and there's kind of just this general susurration and moaning coming from the area. But you do notice your boatswain, who is, I said his name at the beginning, and now oh, god damn it, I used it, whose name is Grump. He goes by Grump.
Crump?
Yeah. His first name is actually Grainold. He's Montaigne, but he goes by the name Grump. But he's a pirate like you all, or like a privateer. He's all about the freedom of the sea and fuck the Sun King, and it's fine. It's fine. You're all part of the same. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And he's kind of sitting there. He goes, "Oi, looks like you guys didn't get pinched. This is not how anyone from France would ever talk, but whatever."
I was like, you're very wrong.
Let me see if I can put on a French accent for you. There we go. Hey.
That vex.
I mean, my Scandinavian pirate is from New Zealand, so I wouldn't worry too much.
Apparently, my German is Russian, so
It's fine. We don't.
All of our accents are wrong.
Carol.
Our entire characters
Yeah.
are liars.
Yeah.
I mean,
It
it's an
is.
island nation, that counts,
Yeah.
right?
I mean, it's almost like we're role playing different people or something. I know.
It's weird. Weird.
Okay, so we're here in the jail,
Mhm.
and what are the handcuffs?
Oh, they're not handcuffed. They're just behind
They're just
iron bars
crammed
locked in.
in.
Yeah.
That's not what I asked.
Oh. There were some shackles hanging on the wall back over there.
Huh. I go to find a guard.
looks like she's going to perform now.
Well, I have my crowd. She has hers.
It's true. It's true. It's true.
Does she still have the key?
Straight between her boobulars.
Mistakes were made.
Mistakes were
Moving
made.
on.
Anyways, my
I
friends.
don't think it's a mistake when I can use it as leverage, but okay.
God, my brain, why?
Why didn't they arrest you?
Because I'm hot.
We were
Yeah.
out to
That
Simple answer.
and
The more important question is, why did they arrest you?
It was the strangest
Why on
thing.
earth would they think that that our ship was caught up in this?
Because it was.
What do you mean?
I don't remember much of it, but I grew up
I am
on
going
this
to
island.
use another one of those raised things
Sure.
to see if our bosun can tell us how our ship got caught up in this.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Grump is actually from this island. And he begins to tell you a story. He'll say, 50 years ago, there was a captain of a ship called the Coronac. His name was Mikorlo. There was a rebellion at the time when the Inish were fighting against the Avalonians, and he was one of the most vicious privateers of the Inish rebellion, and even when the war was over, he took his personal war to these seas, attacking Inish and Avalonian ships. Here off these waters, near a place they called Smuggler's Island, he was killed at the wheel of his ship. Our very own governor's grandfather is the one who put his crew in the gibbet. Gibbet. And that very same night, our governor's grandfather's wife was struck by lightning and died, of course. It is said by the people who grew up here that the ghost of Mikarlo has inhabited these waters ever since. It appears he has gotten more hungry.
Hungry.
Same.
Aye. If the stories are to be believed, 3 ships have been taken over by his ghost pirate crew in the last month. Ours was only the last to do so, which means he's gaining in power. And I bet he's coming for revenge.
then the other 2 ships that this governess has sent to the gallows. Could they not have suffered the same fate as the Lady of Corleone?
I believe they did. Hard to prove, though.
Stella, come over here.
I love a
Show
good
this man.
sight gag.
Show this man what you've got in your tits.
I mean, we've all sailed together. I've seen her tits like 20 times.
I feel like that is the most Aussie thing I've ever said, by the way.
You haven't seen this though?
I've never seen a key like that before. I mean, I've seen keys before, but I don't know anything about that.
Was it said that did the letter say it was taken from our ship?
Yes. Storyteller voice. Yes, the letter said the key was taken from the Lady of Carleon.
You've never seen this key. It was
No.
taken from our ship. Can I notice anything about the key that might point me towards the ghosts?
You were using notice, right?
Yep.
I'm
Do you have
like,
any
yes, my
raises
right
left?
nipple just goes this way.
I can find the rest.
Because you spent 3 raises so far, I think? 3 or 4?
2 of the raises. Yeah. So okay.
You
I
had
have
6, so it's fair to say you have 1 left.
I had 6, and then I also spent a raise from the guy following me.
Yeah, you've got a raise left. They don't make keys like that anymore.
I'm guessing this key is about 50 years old.
That's not a bad guess. So you now have enough information to be led to believe that there's something to be found on the Smuggler's Island. You know the wreck of the ship was there. You know that what? Is there something happening? What was the loot
Chat.
there?
I'm sorry, it was
Okay,
chat.
Okay. You know the wreck of the ship is there. You know that this Nicorlo used to operate out of there. And you know that lots of people it seems to be an open secret that there's ghost ships around. And that the governor wants to have nothing to do with it.
If this is a weird pirate version of Ghost Ship, I quit.
I don't know that.
So yes, no.
I'm of 2 minds, and one is obviously we need to go to Smuggler's Island at some point, and the other is
Yes.
why does the governor not want anything to do with this? Is it just because of a family history? Is there something more going on there? Would it be
Their
worth?
family would be to blame
Yeah.
for all of the pirate deaths.
And the pirates attacking shipping and everything, and it would probably ruin the deal with the ATC.
And it's a scary idea to have ghost pirates coming after you.
Yeah. Well, pirates and company men. I mean, it's a hard call, but I really want to kill the company men. The ghosts are just doing ghost things. It's fine.
I want to kill the ghosts. I want to more kill the ghosts.
But the ghosts are not slavers, so just say, well, actually, they possess people. Shit.
That's kind of the fundamental point there.
We
And
trick the ghosts into possessing the company men, and then we kill them both together. Okay, let's do this.
Yes.
as our party attempts to deal with this existential crisis of who to kill
And
first
Stella's just like,
and how to kill them and with what, we will be back after these messages. Thanks so much for hanging out with us today. If you get a second during break, you should check out one of our amazing sponsors. We're now proudly sponsored by Roll20, the best virtual tabletop for all your role-playing needs. Over 4 million people use Roll20's virtual tabletop to power their favorite games. And with more modules than you can shake a stick at on their new revamped storefront, you'll definitely find something for your group to enjoy. Sign up today by clicking the link below or heading to roll20.net/start/WTTP. Tabletop Loot is an amazing place to get your dice bags, dice boxes, and more. And now you can get 15% off your purchase at tabletoploot.com by using the code WTTPDICE at checkout. Tabletop Loot. Your party starts here. While you're at it, check out our so awesome merch store, So Nerdware. So Nerdware is the place to find all your Welcome to the Party merch and other amazing stuff too. Head on over to sonerdwear.com and use the code WELCOME at checkout to get 10% off your next purchase. So Nerdwear. It's what the nerds wear. Devin Rue, the amazing mistress of maps, has kindly supported the channel since the beginning and provides graphics for many of our streams. Head on over to rueinc.com to check out some of the best fantasy cartography on the web. Our Patreon supports the creators and producers of the channel by providing Roll20 subscriptions, cost coverage for video hosting, and more. If you want to support the channel while getting podcasts a week early, gaming articles that are published on Patreon first, a shout out during our break, and more, head on over to patreon.com/welcomepartyrpg and throw us a buck or $5. And last, but certainly not least, help out the party. Subs and bits not only support the stream, but also every 500 bits or a tier 1 sub gives a player or DM of your choice a reroll or system equivalent, and every 1000 bits or tier 2 sub gives a player or DM of your choice a crit or system equivalent. Thanks again for hanging out with us today. The game will be back in just a few minutes.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Delicious things to eat.
The popcorn can't be beat. The sparkling drinks are just dandy. The chocolate bars and the candy. So let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
And we're back! Welcome back, everyone, to the second half of tonight's episode of Side Quest, where we're playing, for the first time ever on this stream, 7C, a game of swashbuckling, daring do, and tonight, pirate ghost investigation. So we'll see what happens with that. Our party had their crew interned after it turns out their party was possessed by a ghost ship and attacked a ship from the Avalon Navy. It's about 2 days until their entire crew is hung. They've found out that the person who was supposed to help them, their legal support, disappeared. That the governor doesn't want anyone to get in the way of them getting hung because it would foil her plans. That the major trading company really doesn't want there to be a ghost pirate problem. Hung is something else entirely, that is correct. Really doesn't want there to be a ghost problem, and that much of this happened just off the shore of a place called Smuggler's Isle, about 8 miles west of here. Our party is currently in the basement of the jail, surrounded by their crew, interned, until such time as they are about to be hanged, and we leave it to them to tell us what happens next.
So Ulfrig doesn't actually give a shit about the economy of this island or anything. She does care about getting her crew out of jail, and that's pretty much it. So if we get rid of the pirates, great, but some other members of this party might have issues with opening up the way for ATC and the governor of this island, who is definitely sketchy as fuck, to do whatever the hell they want.
That's why I think we should take the ATC boat out to the Smuggler's Island.
So turn the charges of piracy into actual piracy.
Well, no, because it would not be our crew.
Why do you have a problem with this now? We are pirates, are we not?
Or are we private? Does one of us have a letter of marque, and can we use it to seize the ATC's ship?
Those are two separate questions. It is fair to assume you have at least one letter of marque from at least one country. I would guess probably Castile. They're big on that. Avalon also tends to give out letters of marque, like it's candy. And privateers are known to collect them so that they can show whatever one they need to show in order to do their business.
We just have like one of like those wallets that like folds out with all the badges. Say like it's fine, just pick one.
It's the skull. It's the scroll of pedigree
Yeah.
Yes.
for pirates.
It's just a skull and crossbones. That's that's all they need to see.
Pirate.
Okay, so dealing with the ghosts is probably good. Because ghosts just possessing people and doing shit, probably not great.
I would
I
agree
mean,
with
even
that.
if we break our crew out and steal our ship back, it's just going to get possessed again.
Probably, and we would also become hunted across the entire Atabean and all 6 other seas by the ATC.
That's not unusual.
It's not, but I certainly do not like living with a death sentence over my head.
You get used to it.
Except we don't really have one over our heads. I don't know if you missed that whole part about having the warrant out for an arrest.
Apparently I did miss that part.
There is currently no warrant out for your arrest.
Well, do you know what I
Well.
meant?
You have done a great job of proving that you're not actually part of the crew. In other words, lying.
Narrator voice, there was no warrant.
And there was no warrant.
These are not the pirates you are looking for.
I think you have that talent. Anyway.
Do I?
It depends on how much leg you're showing.
That much leg.
So,
Without the pants.
Raphael would suggest that perhaps there is a way that we can both undermine the ATC and also convince these ghosts to perhaps stop their assault upon the worldly.
I wonder what they hunger for.
I'm sorry,
Well.
hunger or hunger?
The second one.
Ah,
Well, if it turns out that our dear governess is indeed a descendant of someone who managed to kill this Inishman from ages past, I don't know many stories about Avalon ghosts, but in Castile, at the very least, our revenants can only be put to rest when their wishes are fulfilled. They may have a grudge against this bloodline.
So what you're saying is we should kidnap the governess and take her with us.
I am saying no such thing, but I'm not ruling it out entirely.
Someone can make a scholarship test right now.
I don't.
I am illiterate.
I
I'm
look
just
good in my
hot.
swing. Yeah, I look good in my swing swords. All right, I don't have.
I can do that.
All right.
With resolve, because I am determined to figure this out.
I like it. Perfect.
Oh,
You have a lot of dice in scholarship. How many dice in scholarship do you have?
4.
4. Okay, so you can reroll one of those once.
Sweet.
Which gives you a 4 raises, 5 raises, 6, 15 and 15, 30, so that's 4. And then you're at 40, so 5 total raises, which is enough to know that it really, and you're also the explorer kind of adventurer of the group. It depends on the ghost. Some ghosts have an anchor, something that they are tied to. Some ghosts need a wish fulfilled. Some ghosts have a story of tragedy and are looking for redemption somehow. So you would need to figure out what the thing is before trying to...
boy, Grump.
The key to the mystery, one might say.
Yes.
How long has Grump been sailing?
I'm like, did somebody say key?
A long time. Yeah, I'm a salty old sea dog. A long time, I guess, yeah.
So, you've probably seen some of the older generation of ships.
Aye.
If you're on one of those ships, what do you suppose this key would be to?
Chastity belt?
Let me see it.
They still make those in the Highlands.
Not for her.
Be surprised.
And, if you would like, you got 5 raises. You could spend a raise, Ulfric, and he will know what that key is for.
Perfect, I will.
Okay. Some older ships carried a locking mechanism on the wheel of the ship.
So it's a car key for a boat.
Kind of. It's the so you've got the wheel, right, and behind it, it is connected technically to the rudder. In this case, this is a rudder key, and it's almost symbolic of who owns the ship. It's less about actually locking it, right? Although that is a very old tradition in Innish ships to have the holder of the key of the ship. And it is very possible. And he'll say, and what Grump will tell you is that he believes from all of the stories that he's heard that Mac, what's his face? I have it in my notes. Leave me alone.
Coronac McCorlow.
Yes, McCorlow died at the helm of his ship when they were taken down by the Avalonian Navy.
Well, that sucks.
Still see way too many directions I can go with that.
I still vote we kidnap the governess and take her to the island and see what we can do about getting
look for the ship.
So I just realized it locks the wheel in place, basically, so the ship can't move.
Yeah, it's mostly ceremonial. By 50 years ago, it was mostly ceremonial.
And
Is it
it's
like
kind
a
of handy.
It's like a 1600s version of the club.
A little bit. A little bit.
Well, but it's also handy if you have a small crew, you need all hands in a fight. You can lock
Yeah.
and it can continue ramming a ship while you get set.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Sorry, I'm just trying to picture like what Innish Billy Mays sounds like now. And I'm completely off track.
Do we well, Ulfric's the one that finds all this information out through all of that. I think I'm off somewhere, but I wandered.
I respect that.
I saw Matt.
as
I had to go talk to somebody.
I found the chastity belt.
Well, that's useless.
Half tempted to spend another scholarship point raised just to find out whose it was.
Yeah, that's what I was like.
No.
Now you're thinking with raises.
What do they teach you in those Vestin academies?
What don't they teach?
Apparently, the art of seduction.
I feel like there's a little sexual tension between Sella and Ulfric.
Listen, Sella wants to fuck everybody.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah. Yeah.
She ain't picky. You live a pirate's life. You don't get to be picky.
And
true.
a lady doesn't kiss and tell.
That too.
All right. So what are we doing, team? What's happening? What's going on?
I'm gonna go fuck Ulfric. Bye.
I need to know that there has to be a storyteller there for any single player-on-player interaction. It's just somebody has to watch to make sure everything happens okay. All right. Anyways, now I'm getting distracted, and I'm trying to bring you all back into focus.
Also, pirates legit had gay marriage historically.
Yes.
Like, the captains of the ship would marry the pirates to each other, which I think
Yes.
is awesome.
Indeed.
Pirate facts, everyone.
Yep. The more you know.
Anyway.
I mean, we could steal the governess. We could steal a boat.
You could rent a boat.
We have a key. Do we really need to?
We could just, yeah.
It's in rowing distance. I will say the
Oh,
island.
it's within rowing distance?
Yeah, it's 8 miles out. It's not like forever away. It's across a small strait.
Oh no. I've run 8 miles, and the prospect of rowing 8 miles is...
We're all very hesitant to go across the small strait.
Apparently. No, you know what? No, we're going to go across the small strait.
We are going to go. It's just a matter of, do we take the governess with us, and do we rent the boat, or do we steal it?
What if we just go to the island first and see exactly what the pirates want? Because if we just show up with the governess and they're like, here we go, we got you what you wanted, and they're like, you didn't even fucking gift wrap it? Like,
Where's the bow? And I was like, here's the key.
I gotta draw dirt.
Me. I am Jack from that movie, from that freaking
okay.
third movie.
So we steal a boat, we go to the pirate island, we find out what the Irish, Inish ghost pirates want.
I love how 3 times we've been told we can rent a boat, and we're just like, no, we'll still one.
Well, as it was very much highlighted to me, we're fucking pirates.
Yeah, but you're not, like, wanted here.
Yet.
Yes.
Yeah.
You are people of the coin. You are you are people of adventure. You are not necessarily like the blood red cross of death will come to you.
Yeah,
right?
that's true. We're
Yeah.
we're 7C heroes.
No,
Yeah.
we do the bad cop show thing of like, we show the letter of marque and we're like, I need your boat.
Yes.
It doesn't work like that.
It doesn't, but it would be funny to see you try.
Like, it's an RPG. We can do whatever we want.
Yep.
All right.
So who wants to try and do that whole scroll of pedigree thing and do it with the boat?
Someone who talks way prettier than Ulfric.
Someone who talks.
Okay, at this point, it's me and Raphael.
I think that is kind of what they are saying.
All right. Well, let's go then.
To the boat.
To the boat.
It is easy enough to procure a rowboat for the day, if that's what you're looking to get. That is simple.
Yes.
If you're looking to get something with
Okay.
masts and a sail, it will be harder. Are we getting a rowboat or something with masts? I'll leave it up to you.
Do we need a thing with sails, do you think, guys?
Raphael
prince get a fishing-
sighs very hard as he goes, "No, I suppose we don't."
All right.
All
So
right,
it takes about an hour to row across the strait. As you make
over your boat for like an hour.
As you make your way across, you slowly. First, it's a small dot on the horizon, and then as you make your way closer and closer, growing out of the water is this small, maybe 2-mile long piece of land. At one end are a series of high cliffs, and it slopes down through jungle terrain to a white sand beach on the other end. As you come up to the island itself, you see the wreck of the Wrexham, which is the ship that the Lady of Corleone actually destroyed, sitting up to its gunnels in water, so its top deck is still above water. Sitting maybe half a mile away from a single quay with a small settlement around it. Simple thatched houses up on stilts. This must be the smuggler settlement.
What's even
the
going to
smuggler
introduce
settlement?
ourselves?
Yeah, I was like, you want to get off the boat?
My eagle eyes. Is there anything to watch out for on that smuggler settlement?
No, not really. They seem to. It seems like there is a couple of ships that probably dock here occasionally that aren't here right now. So there's maybe only 15 or 20 people tooling about in the village as everybody's off doing smuggly things. Nobody
So
ever comes and bothers them.
The captain died at the wheel of his ship.
Yes,
Was the ship in dock?
the ship was here.
That's what I mean. Was it docked here or was
No,
it?
it was. No one knows the exact position where the ship went down, but it was off the. It was here off this island.
Let's go find out where the ship went down.
And with a the boat makes its way up under the sand, just off to the side of the shacks. Somebody kind of looks over, talks to a couple of friends, and carrying clubs. As you all are getting yourself out of the boat, one of them comes up to you with a few friends behind him and goes, "What's your business?"
And Salah just walks in and goes, you are.
I'll lean
My
into
wife would
Raphael.
kill me if I looked at you crosswise.
Well, don't look at me crosswise, just look at me straightwise, huh?
What's your business?
Fuddy duddy, fine. And I, can I... Oh, wait, I have a thing. Can I use one of my raises just to get this out of the way?
Oh, so we're definitely in a new scene now,
Or is
and
this,
it's
like,
just kind of a
out?
free
Okay.
play. Yeah.
Rafa, take it away. Stella just backs up.
As Raphael is apparently just like shoved into the front at that point. Let's see. Do these people are these people just like dressed just like normal like people or
Yeah, they're just dressed like normal people.
normal people?
Kind of
No,
homespun, flowy shirts, and kind of off at the shins pants. Simple shoes. Some of them not wearing
Okay.
shoes. Yeah.
Okay. I would just say, hola, amigos. We are here on behalf of our own crew, trying to clear their names from grave lies that have put them all in terrible danger. We were hoping to explore this wreck in order to learn what transpired here.
Aye, what he said.
What's your crew? What's your ship?
Raphael kind of looks back at everyone else like,
The lady plot plot plot.
Corleone.
okay.
Oh. Yeah. McTavish got that one, I think. Or not McTavish. MacOrlo got that one, I think, didn't he? The
All
ghost
the
ship.
Max and the mix in the world.
Yeah.
Seems as if he did. We'd prefer to get ours out of his clutches.
And you're looking for where the Lady Corleone went down? She's in port over at Ripley's Rest.
Not so much the Lady of Corleone as...
The Wrexham.
The Coronac.
Thank you. Coronach.
Yeah.
Or the corner. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, no one knows exactly where it went down. Could be in multiple fathoms of water, but there is an old cave that we don't go near. They say it's haunted. It's old Macoro's cave. It's 3 miles up the beach there. 3 miles. It's only 2 mile long. It's about 1.5 miles up the beach there.
That's an awful lot of water that we have to cross to get to
Right?
this cave.
Yeah. We don't go up that part of the beach, though.
Why not?
Well,
Haunted. As long
Well,
as we stay away from it, we don't get no trouble.
Why do the ships in this water get trouble?
Because Macoro wants blood. He wants to drink the blood of his victims.
ew.
What makes you think that?
I don't know, isn't that what ghosts do? They kill people and drink their blood?
Why would they need blood?
I don't know, it's a ghost.
I think you're thinking of vampires.
What's a vampire? That's some
It's a
kind of
dead
ghost?
thing that kind of.
I'm just gonna turn and start walking towards the cave.
Okay.
yeah, for an Iceman, that had to have been painful.
I do have a question about that though, since this is what I intend to be doing. Does that count as my Monster Hunter quirk?
What's your Monster Hunter quirk?
It is here. Let me find the sheet that actually has all of the information, so I don't have to.
If you just click all, it'll all be on one thing.
Well,
It's all on something? Yeah. Yeah, click all.
The marvels of technology.
That's what words mean.
No.
okay.
You asking a question about a creature is not the same as hunting it down and making
No,
sure it will
but
never harm
heading
anyone
towards-
again.
Heading towards the cave specifically to look for these ghosts and hunt them down.
No.
Okay.
You're.
Oh my god!
Oh wait, when you choose to hunt down it does say when you choose to hunt down an inhuman
That's
creature.
where I'm coming
Not
from.
when you hunt down an. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna give it to you. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. It does say choose, not when you actually
Yeah,
accomplish
both of my quirks are about choices.
it. Okay. Yes. All right. So, making your way up the beach, as you do, the storm is starting to come up on the horizon. It's a bit cloudier. Looks like it's probably gonna rain. There's thunder out there as well, and it seems that a storm is rising up out of the sea. There, though, Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I would just like to remind folks that one of the things that we learned was that the possessed ship looked like it was covered in clouds. So, yeah.
Ominous.
However, Stella's useless in this, so knock yourselves out.
That was it. Sorry, Throt.
No, you're fine. Making your way up to this cave, you actually, it's especially Ulfrid with your eagle eyes, easy enough to see. It's covered by probably years of sand drift coming up into the entrance. Some logs have fallen over top of it. But given about a half an hour, you're able to clear out the entrance if you want. Yeah. You all gonna go into the cave?
Yeah, to the cave.
Yeah.
Well, I
nothing
want to
wrong
know
with-
what's in there. Yeah.
Like, what else are we gonna do?
This looks to be a natural cave that at some point, maybe when the seas were higher, it got carved in here. There was a weak piece of rock, and it kind of just started pulling the sediment out. It's well rounded. It looks like no one's been in here for ages and ages and ages, and it's actually not that deep of a cave either. As you make your way to the back of it, it's only about 40 feet long. I gotta get to my notes because I accidentally screwed them up. You see an old, rotted out sort of bed, cot. It's more of a cot than a bed. It's just a simple piece of canvas stretched over some wood. There's a makeshift. I've lost my words. A small makeshift desk composed of one full-sized barrel and a half barrel flipped over, acting as a seat. And there's also a bunch of old supplies and stuff in here, but they're obviously rotted out. And there on the desk is a handwritten letter.
Nice ass.
Well, I want to read that letter. That's for sure.
All right.
I'm firmly convinced Ulfrig is the only one of us that can read.
The
But
letter.
is it in a language?
Wait, is that actually the case though? Because I don't think.
No, you are all assumed to be literate.
This is not Warhammer.
You can
Why
choose
the
not
assumption?
to be literate. Yeah, you can choose not to be literate if you want, but you are all assumed to be literate. Ah, yes, it is
Okay.
a grotto. That is correct. You found a grotto. It is the letter says, "It is nearly time for us to go down to the house of the Dark One. I do not fear it. No man who serves with me fears death. We fear only to die in shame, in cowardice like mewling children. The O'Bannon would have me abandon my crusade. He blathers on about loyalty, about the gayish that comes with my mantle. What does he know of loyalty? What of bravery? But he has done something. He's cursed me. The mantle slips, and I am not long for this life. Never mind. I shall go on to the end of my ship, her wheel in my hands, and I shall pour my own soul into her if ever I can. Live or die, I shall give my all. And if I can snatch away the lives of some Avalon swine, all the better." This is obviously written by MacArlo. There are further instructions for him to meet someone somewhere on the shores of Innismore, but the name is unreadable. Seems to have been smudged away, probably by the hands of time. It's been sitting here for 50 years.
He was an angsty motherfucker, wasn't he?
Who is the Dark One?
As you ask that question, fog begins to fill the cave and a ghastly howling can be heard outside. Looking out of
Roderick,
the,
what did you do?
looking out of the cave, you see rain beginning to come down, but you hear no splash of raindrops. Only the howling, punctuated by occasional lightning strikes. Suddenly then, backlit by green lances of lightning, you see just offshore a strange-looking ship, with a captain appearing to bark orders at no one is all, his words a silent mimicry of life. The ship begins to sail towards Ripley's Rest, and then out of the mist come rushing 15 of these sailors. But they're not the sailors. There's the smugglers who you were just talking to. But they're screaming for vengeance in a language none of you understand. They've changed. Their faces are twisted in terror, and it's almost as if another more ghostly visage has superimposed itself over their guilt-ridden faces. You're being attacked, but you've got to get back to town before that ship gets there. We're now into an action sequence. So, you are being
Wait, I
faced...
gotta. Yeah. Okay, yeah, it's on. Okay.
Well, all right. Hang on.
Sorry.
Let me explain what's happening, and then we'll do the thing. You are now in an action sequence. You are facing what are called 3 brute squads. Brute squads are groups of 5 bad guys who are mooks. They will do damage to you every turn on the 0th raise. In an action sequence, you count down from the highest raise to the lowest raise, right? Like initiative. So if you rolled 5 raises, you would go first. Then someone who rolled 4 raises would go. Then someone who rolled 3 raises would go. Then someone who rolled 2 raises would go. And then we just repeat that process until everyone has spent their raises. The danger here is me applying 15 points of damage across the 5 of you, or the 4 of you, at the end of every turn. Every hit you're able to do to one of these brute squads reduces their damage by 1. Make sense?
Sure.
Okay. I'll explain it again as we go along. You're about to be in combat.
I was like,
Right.
I will explain it again as we go through. We're about to be in combat. So what is the skill and approach? What is the skill and the trait that you would want to use in a combat against 5 groups of angry, ghost-possessed smugglers?
Roderick is going to take down his Zweihander and get almost a happy look on his face. And I'm going to use brawn weaponry.
Okay.
Let's see, brawn. Kind of hard to see from this distance.
get closer.
It's on my TV.
Oh. My answer still stays.
All right, so you can re-roll one of those ones.
Yeah. And then I have how many ranks? I believe I have 4 ranks in weaponry.
Yep. So you can you will also get a raise for every 15. You'll get 2 raises for every 15. So re-roll a d10.
That's too many numbers.
Okay, so that'll actually be 37. So you're still only gonna get 4 raises, but you've got 4 raises weaponry. Who else? What is everybody else's approach?
I think I want to use aim and Nash, because why not? And I would like to use my signature item, my pistol, on this one. Yeah. So is that a +1 die to this one, or is that?
Yeah, you will have +1 die because you haven't used it yet. And remember, you can spend hero points to give yourself extra dice or somebody else extra dice.
Yeah, but when I use my pistol, the weapon is always in reach and provides +1 die to risks using aim.
Yes.
Is that this situation?
Yes, so you'll get 2 free dice.
Awesome.
Yes.
Yeah, I have something like that too. I misread it.
Okay, and you've got 4 in this at the very least, so you can re-roll the 2, and you're getting a base 4. Okay, so you're gonna get 4 raises. 4 raises.
Okay.
Okay. Sella and Raphael.
Do I have a weapon, or is it just my boobs?
Everybody is assumed to have some way that you can fight, and you do have a combat skill. I think it's aim, right?
Yeah.
Yep. So it's safe to assume that you either have a crossbow or a pistol.
I want a gun.
You have a pistol. It is done.
Cool. Yay. I think I'll use. I feel like that would make sense too. Let's do aim and width, so I know like exactly where to shoot.
Okay.
If that's how that works.
That's perfect.
Okay. And then bloop. Bloop.
Oh my god. Okay, so how many skill dice do you have?
Yes.
How many dots in aim?
3.
Okay. So, you can re-roll that too.
That's just to roll 1d10, right?
Yeah, /R space 1d10.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so you're gonna get 4 raises, and then last but not least, Raphael.
So Raphael is built for this.
Yes.
He is a duelist. So
Yes.
he strides up next to Roderick, glances over at the larger Ison Man, takes 1 step in front of Roderick, and then unsheathes the rapier at his side. I am going finesse and weaponry,
Love it.
and let's see, +1 flare, right? Yeah.
Yep.
I'm not going to use my signature weapon at this point, but
Okay.
that's all right. I reroll 10, or 10s explode,
10s explode.
and I
That is correct.
and I can reroll the 1. So
Yep.
I will reroll 2 dice.
Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah. So that
Well,
is.
because of 10.
Yeah. So that goes. That'll be 2, 4, 5 raises.
5 raises.
Yeah. Right? Because 47. Yeah, 5 raises. Oh no.
Yes.
43
No.
plus 5 is 48. No, it's 50. It's 50. It's 6 raises.
It's 6 raises.
Yeah, I'm bad at math.
Okay.
Because you
That's
went.
all right.
Yeah, because you went above 45. So it's 6 raises, but you made it to 60, so technically it's 7 raises. To 50, so technically it's 7 raises. Wow. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Like
Yeah.
I said.
Okay, you were real good
Like I
at that.
said.
All right.
I am very good with this.
So at the top of the round, the assassin crew goes, and each of you immediately take 5 wounds as 5 of them just charge at you with these daggers all in their mouths and in their hands, and just come up and start assailing you. So you will each have taken 5 wounds. The others are just regular wounds.
That's a dramatic.
That is 1
isn't it?
dramatic wound, which means you get a bonus die on all of your risks. So you will all get an extra die. Because the way it works is the more hurt you are, first a good thing happens, then a bad thing happens, then a good thing happens, and then you pass out. Every
Sounds like
dramatic
life.
wound, yeah, right? Every dramatic wound gives you a bonus.
Raise.
Yeah. Okay, So they go at the top and do their damage right away. So you have taken 5 points of damage, which you would put 5 in your wounds and 1 in dramatic wounds. And now that you've done that, we start at the top of the raises, which is Raphael.
Okay, Raphael decides that this is some bullshittery, and he does not play with this.
This is some damn bullshittery.
Exactly. Let's see. So I will use. I have a duelist style, so unlike everyone else who deals 1 point per raise spent, I can do more. So I will. Let's see. How many raises did I fucking get?
7.
And I have how many weaponry? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. Let's blow them all. I lunge.
Okay.
So I spend all of my raises.
Okay.
All at once. So it's 7 raises worth of damage. And I also deal an extra amount of wounds equal to my ranks in weaponry, which is 5.
Okay, so tell me how you slaughter 12 smugglers.
Raphael
and
himself
you don't have to kill them,
is-
you can just knock them out of the fight.
Well, yeah, because they're possessed.
Yeah.
No, they're possessed. That they're not actually like in their right minds. Like our crew was the same way.
So you charge in and you take out 13 of them.
I take out 13 of them. Raphael himself is again a trained soldier. He's a trained duelist in the Aldana style. He has one hand free that he's using to like catch blades and like push them aside, and his own rapier is doing its damnedest to like cut hands to literally finagle its way into handguards and rip the swords out of them while using the pommel to bash them in the face and knock them out on the ground. He is a whirlwind of steel cloak and very nice feathered hat.
And the swashbuckling has begun as this whirlwind of Castilian steel just dives into the 15 of them, and bodies go flying before anybody else can react. And suddenly, there's only 3 of them left. And Sela, Ulfric, and Roderick, you get to go now.
Show off.
Sorry? Was that you pulling in?
I called Raphael a show off.
We're all just like,
From like the rest of the fight is like Raphael is like throwing someone over his shoulders. You're just jealous, Ison.
I'm going to go ahead and take out my pistol and in a very like Mal from Firefly kind of way, just like line it right up and boom and get someone in the kneecap so that they can't run at us anymore.
You hear
And
this.
Yep.
And as he goes down, and you see the ghost kind of lift away from the body as you do so, and he's holding his knee like, oh god. Nicely done. So Roderick or Sela? There's 2 left.
Sela does almost the same, but because she used wits, she's not gonna shoot the person in the kneecap. But she's still gonna shoot a person.
Okay. Yeah, just
I'm
straight
still
up.
gonna shoot you, but I'm not gonna blow out your knee. And I take the gun and I aim it. Like, can I use a raise for this? Just to like make sure I aim and it does the thing that I need it to do?
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool, I'm gonna do that. And I do the same, but like very much like I swing and kill shot and like
Are you
do
gonna
the thing
straight?
and the ghost goes poof.
Are you gonna kill someone?
No,
Okay.
no.
So you wing somebody in the shoulder, they go, oh god, and you see the ghost kind of wisp away from them, and then Roderick.
I'm gonna look at all these people that are down. There's only one left. Just go up and punch him.
And he collapses to the ground. That ship is on its way to port. What are you doing?
Raphael, you ruined all of my fun.
Augulator, stop the ship now.
Can we shoot
What
the
can I
boat?
say?
Ulfric?
Yeah, how far away is it?
So it is. Well, first of all,
Dear Ulfric, I see.
it's made of ghost, and it's not a corporeal ship at the moment, which is problematic. But it's only maybe 300 yards off coast right now, making headway towards Bay, Island, Saint Alabaster,
Ripley's Rest.
Ripley's Rest. Yes.
Can I still, with my eagle eyes and my pistol, try and shoot whoever is standing at the helm in the head?
You may absolutely try and do that.
Okay, and I will use a raise to succeed, even if it has no effect whatsoever.
Okay.
That's badass.
Yeah.
Go.
I want to grab this slip of paper that we
I'll
found.
make your roll for this, because this is a whole new thing. Yeah, so go ahead and just make a single roll.
Okay, so this is aim. No penalty. I still get a +1 because I'm using my pistol.
Yep.
So that is a 31, with one of those being a 10, but I don't think that means anything for me in particular.
What is your aim? How much aim do you have?
I have 2 aim. Not great.
Okay, so no, it's fine. However, he spends 2 raises of his own to create a hazard. This wave of water raises up from the sea and begins to roll toward all of you. And your bullet goes into the wave.
Badass. I love it.
Well, I don't like that.
What happens next?
To all everyone else, I'm out. I tapped everything I had.
Just want to say, Raphael, can you maybe slice the wave?
I cut sharp, but he holds up the very thin rapier. It's like something about not the size, but motion. You know how this goes.
I want to do something with athletics, but I don't know what it would be. Like, I can't think of a way to
You want to get
save
back to your
anyone
boat
but
and-
me.
Fair.
Let me just perform my way and like skip the wave.
So what's your goal right now? Think about this in terms of goal, right? Are you trying to get to the ship, or are you trying to get back to port? What are you trying to do?
Stop the water.
We need to get to, well, we've got a bloody rowboat and there's a tsunami headed towards our island.
So the wave was only a thematic threat. It was only there to show the power and stop the attack.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't there to actually, like, swamp you all. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Stella, do you still have the key?
Oh my god.
Yeah?
Can I have the key?
No.
Can I have the key if I give you this piece of paper?
Is it an IOU or something? Because otherwise I don't want it.
It could potentially get our friends out of jail.
Ulfric has questions about why that wasn't used earlier.
As the ship
Yeah,
keeps getting
kind of
closer
The
and
paper is
closer
from the
to
cave.
Ripley's Rest.
I grabbed the paper from the cave.
All right, I'll really quick, but what would you do with the key that we haven't already thought of or discussed?
Other than find out something and possibly own a ghost ship?
Actually, do we all know that the key does the thing?
I would imagine you share the information, yes.
Okay.
By Theus and all the prophets, we won't have any ship if that ghost ship gets to the town.
Oh, I know, I completely agree, but how will we even get onto the ghost ship to begin with?
Let's get to the rowboat and figure that out as we go.
Making your
Running.
way down to the rowboat. Boom! You get in the rowboat. You start rowing, and luckily, rowing is actually faster than sailing over short distances. So somebody could give me like an athletics check or something like that. Somebody who might be strong or good at that. It's almost like I wrote the scenario for everyone to have specific roles.
I have 3 athletics.
I'm just cute.
Go for it, person who said they have 3 athletics.
Athletics.
That's
Argument there.
Roderick. Our tank.
Who
Athletics
only
what?
fought one guy.
How much do you have? 3 athletics? You can reroll that 1.
Okay.
Okay, so, you get there, but it takes you most of the trip to get, to actually be able to catch up with it. But, about 300 yards out from dock, and it looks like it's heading directly to your ship, you're finally able to catch up with it. And it's weird. You can kind of see into the ship and, like, see all the decks and things, but you can also see that the water is lapping up against it, as if it's semi-solid.
I'm gonna reach out and touch it. Do I have a grip on it?
Yeah, it's weirdly solid.
Give me the key.
No, please, no, nothing. I swear to God.
Here.
I stick my hand into her tits and grab the key and swing up onto the boat. You're acting like this is the first time, darling.
I'm gonna climb up onto the
And
ghost.
Stella just shuts down.
But I can feel my face burning in real life.
Hey, you went there. I was gonna give the key.
Great puzzle maker. I always thought that made her louder, not quieter.
Depends on the audience.
So, yes, onto the ship.
Okay.
I would say.
So you're easily able to make your way up to the ship, but the ship itself is a hazard. You're now standing on the deck of the ghost ship. I would like you all to tell me what your goal is and how you want to approach it.
So, I feel like this is going to come down to a fight with Marcolio, but I really want to know who the Dark One is, because I feel like that's part of his obligation. And I feel like if we can take over his obligation, he'll go away.
Fair. All right, have fun.
But I'm going to have to get close to him, which means I'm probably going to have to fight him.
Well, you are the tank. You wanted to fight more enemies. There you go. You were all pissed at Raphael for doing his thing, and now you're hesitant about fighting somebody.
I feel like a Scottish via the Indian subcontinent at the moment.
Stella's tired, okay? She just got a key yanked out of her boob compartment.
All right, so
this is exactly how I thought 7C would go. So I'm pleased to see that I was correct.
I want to take the key and put it in the helm lock, if there is one, or get it to the helm.
So your goal is to make it to the helm where the captain is standing and try and get the key in the lock. Is that right?
Yep.
Okay.
Correct.
How do you want to attempt to accomplish that? Standing up here on deck is a bit of a terrifying experience. You're hearing those same moans, but louder. You're hearing those same, you're seeing flits of movement around you as if there's something trying to grab out at you.
That's creepy.
Yeah.
Can I, is the ship rocking at all? Is it steady? Is it Yeah.
It's steady as she goes. It's starting to slow down as it wants to slip into port.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so the biggest hazard is these invisible things grabbing at me, so I kind of want to
The ghost ship itself will be a hazard spending races against you in this case.
I kind of want to when a soccer player is making a drive for the goal, and they're just pew, pew, pew all around all of the defenders, I kind of want to do that to try and get to the helm.
All right, so let's make some rolls. What are you rolling for that? It's gonna be athletics, finesse?
It's gonna be athletics. Yeah, I think it's athletics and finesse.
Sounds right to me.
Or wits, one of the two.
This feels more finesse-y.
Okay, athletics and finesse.
Rock, what does it mean to activate a virtue?
You just choose to activate it.
Okay.
So how many dice in athletics do you have?
3.
Okay, so you can reroll one of those ones. Nice.
Yes.
All right, so you're gonna have 3 raises.
Okay.
Cool.
Not great, but
What's
okay.
everyone else doing?
So I specifically want to get up to him and possibly duel him so I can try and find out who the Dark One is.
All right, so you are also trying to get up to the poop deck.
Yes.
So go ahead. How are you want to duel him as part of this? So what is your role here?
So I have the absolute resolve to find out who the Dark One is because I think that's the real enemy.
Okay.
And I'm going to use weaponry to do it. And I didn't notice this last time, but I'm looking at some of my background and traits and stuff like that. I gain, because of Bruiser, I gain a bonus dice when I make a weaponry risk using a Claymore, Zweihander, Battle Axe, blah, blah, blah.
Absolutely, you do.
And also, I want to activate my virtue. Activate your virtue to add bonus dice to your risk equal to the fear rating of your target.
Okay.
On top of this, I am going to spend my last hero point to give it to Roderick.
Nice.
As
so you're gonna get...
as Roderick, I realize is like, you know, in full Monster Hunter mode, he's going to duel a ghost pirate ship captain, and
It sounds to me like, yeah.
So that's 3 extra dice for you, buddy.
Sounds like
Okay.
you get 5 extra dice to me.
Nice. Okay, let's roll that. Let's see. Weaponry and resolve. I'm gonna guess that's the right one. I don't input a penalty, right?
No.
So I'm
There's
just
no
rolling
penalty
this.
here yet. Yeah.
I'm just rolling the extra dice separately.
Just rolling it extra. You're just rolling it. No, you're rolling it all together. Where it says bonus, you just add 5 dice.
Oh, jeez. Okay, hold on. Cancel. Bonus. It goes up to 4 dice.
You can just type in 5, can't you?
I'm not seeing what you're seeing.
Okay, so when you click on, like, aim, the first thing it'll
Right.
ask you is penalty. The
Yes.
next thing it'll ask you is bonus. Can't you just type in 5 and then click submit?
Okay, that must be the thing that I've been double clicking because I thought it hated me. Okay.
Okay. 7 raises. And you have a 5 in weaponry, right?
No, I have
you only have
a
a 4? Okay. Well, I don't think so. That's actually
No,
good.
sorry.
Wow.
You're right. That's 5.
Reroll those 10s.
Do. How many times was that? That's 1,
2.
2. So.
That's 84. So you have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 raises. Nicely
Nice.
done. Okay, well that's a lot. And we still got Sella and Raphael.
Sella has no clue what to do. She's just sort of watching him try and fight a ghost, and it's like, there could just be another way to probably do this. And the only thing I can think of to really do is linguist, and try and like get Ghost Boy to like quit his shit.
Okay. So you're gonna
And
try
just-
and talk to him.
Yeah.
That feels like a convince or an empathy to me.
I feel like it would be a convince.
Okay.
Or. Yeah. And I guess resolve since I'm trying to end it.
Yeah, I love that. That makes a lot of sense.
Okay. Burp. Burp. Burp.
And how many convince dice do you have?
4.
All right, so it's gonna be 4 raises, and you get to reroll that 1.
Bless. Okay.
Hashtag.
I can't word. Okay, there we go. There we go.
Okay, so that's going to be 35 plus. You're going to get 5 raises. Dunsies. And last but not least, Raphael.
So Raphael went all swish swish clang clang last time, so I'm not gonna do that this time. As much as I loved every single second of that. Let's clang clang. So instead, I think Raphael is going to look into trying to throw the ship off course. It's heading towards our ship. This is very, very bad.
Indeed.
So I think he's actually going to try and go up into the rigging.
I love that.
And try and disable the ship, essentially cutting lines and like trying to tear down canvas and take out the wind from it, essentially.
Okay. There'd be a sailing roll, it feels like.
I was actually thinking more of an athletics role because he's going to be up there, like in the tops, flipping between, platforms and ropes and all sorts of things like that.
Okay, I'm for it.
Okay, good, because I don't have any sailing.
Okay.
All right, so let's see. Athletics check, bonus for flair. Wowzers.
That's
okay.
rough. Okay.
That is rough. Now I can reroll one of those.
Brutal.
So
You can.
I will definitely reroll one.
Oh, hey, there you
bless.
go. All right, so that's
Okay.
going to be 35, which is 4 raises. Okay.
Yeah, because I have the 4. I have 4 ranks, so my 15s count.
Yep.
as-
Alright, Roderick, you want to repay the favor that was done to you earlier?
I can do that. Is it too late to give him a hero point?
It is not. Well, it is too late to give him a hero point to roll. Indeed.
Okay.
Bummer. I tried.
Okay, and then /R1. This is the villain, by the way.
We're all dead. There goes the game. Thanks for
Well, there's
playing.
only
Bye.
one of him. All right, so we started at 71, 97. We're gonna say he has 15 races. Okay, so the way this works is at the beginning of the round, I'm spending a danger point to inflict fear on all of you as this army of ghosts rises up out of the very boards of the ships and begins crawling on you, begins trying to stop you from doing what you need to do. You will all immediately lose 2 races.
No! Oh.
Oh, shit.
How dare you?
I know, I'm terrible. I am also going to impose fear on the entire crew based on the threat rating of this thing, which is 10. So that means everybody on any subsequent test will lose 2 dice on the roll. As the... oh, that worked. Okay, yeah. So,
You are legit the worst person right now.
Wait, does that mean that I only have 2 after the damage, or...
yeah, that means after all of this, you and Raphael have 2 raises, Ulfric has 1, and Roderick has 9. And
Super. It's just so wonderful.
wait, the boss has 15. Okay, so the boss gets to go first, and if there's ever a tie between you and the villain always gets to go first because they're the villain. That's how the rules work. But right now he's got 15, so he's gonna go first, and he roars back and just screams, and you see these waves of almost like lightning sound waves come out of his breath and blow over the 4 of you, dealing a dramatic wound to each of you. Unless you'd like to spend 2 races to ignore it.
I only have 2, so no.
I might have a thing I can do for me.
What's that?
Dramatic wounds for the round. One does not gain bonus dice. If you have 2 dramatic wounds, you do not. Okay, so I'm going to spend a hero point to. I'm going to use. I won't die here. Spend a hero point to ignore all negative effects from dramatic wounds for the round.
Okay.
The villain does not gain bonus dice if you have 2 dramatic wounds, and you do not become helpless at 4 dramatic wounds.
Okay. Nice. That is the most Monster Hunter-y thing ever. And with that, Roderick, it's your go.
So are there ghosts between me and Big Guy?
Yes, you will have to spend, at the very least, 2 raises to move through them. You will have to spend an additional 2 raises to actually attack him.
So, okay. I will spend 2 raises to get to him.
Okay. He pulls out a cutlass and a dagger. And now that you're up close to him, you see his face is this desiccated red mass of flesh. Is anybody weird about insects?
No.
Anybody weird about insects? Like in a way that would freak you out right now? Okay, good. Just making sure. That's what I gotta check. You see like crawfish and like slugs and worms crawling through these open holes in his mouth. In fact, his captain's coat itself is almost entirely made of this crawling mass of insects. And he looks at you with these baleful red eyes and says, "Come for me."
Gladly. Whoop.
Hello. Okay. And what do you do?
That wasn't muted.
I'm going to spend. I spent the 2 raises to get up to him, which I
Yes.
should probably mark that.
And to overcome his pressure, you need to spend another two raises.
Well, that's to attack him, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I want to actually spend 1 raise to apply pressure, or to what was the phrase it used? It's on the cheat sheet.
You want to apply pressure that he has to spend 2 raises if he wants to. Yeah, which is what he just did to you too. So it's fine. Yeah. So he has to spend 2 raises to interact with anybody but you.
Yeah, and it's spend 2 raises to doing something that I want before they can spend raises on anything.
Yes. What are those? Or he can ignore it by spending 2 raises. What is it you want him to do?
I want him to answer my question when I ask him who is the dark one.
Okay. And is that what you're doing on your 9?
Yes.
You're going to ask him. He spends the 2 raises and just laughs at you. I will feed on you like I fed on the rest.
Well, at that point, he's clearly evil.
Yes. Okay, but it's not your go anymore. Either Raphael or Sella.
Stella's a little mortified, right?
Hashtag mortified.
And then
I
Raphael
was gonna
will go.
say it just sounds like Oogie Boogie, but like a pirate version. Like that was what my brain was originally going to say, and then you said a thing, and Freudian slip happened.
Mm-hmm.
I
got you, boo. I got you.
And okay, so I wanted to actually talk to him. Well, not talk, but be like, "Yo, quit it." And how many raises would that take, considering?
1.
Okay.
Unless you're trying to get him to do something. Other than
it.
talk to you.
Well, that's all I can really do.
Okay, what do you want to say?
Well, originally I was gonna be like, why are you doing this? We already kind of know that, don't we?
A little bit.
What can we do to help you, sir?
He'll look over at you and go, "You can die."
Alright, fair enough.
Yep, okay. Raphael, what are you doing?
Raphael is moving his way through the ship, and then basically finding some type of like lining or rigging that he can draw his blade quickly and slice that in order to hold onto the rope and be pulled all the way up into the tops as much as he possibly can.
Okay.
And once he's up there, he's basically going to arrow flint it and like jump at a sail with the sword and dig it in and just drive down as much as possible, cut the canvas and take the wind out of it. Yes, exactly.
That'll take both your raises, but as you do...
Sure.
Yeah.
Take my raises, Thark.
Sorry, that's what I'm here for. Okay, and last but not least, Ulfric.
How far am I from the helm?
You're a dash away from the helm. You're about amidships.
Okay. Would I be able to dash up and try and stick the key into the lock or whatever?
This turn you won't be able to. You've only got, because of the fear, you only have the 1 raise. And so you're
that's
able to
right.
start moving through, but you feel all these claws coming at you and these dead pirates just kind of looking up in your face, and it causes you to like take a back and take a breath and like try and be like, they're just ghosts. They can't actually hurt me. Of course they can't actually hurt you, but and they will.
I do have quick reflexes athletics, which
Okay.
says always act as if you had one more raise than you rolled with this skill.
Okay, so then
Does that
yes,
make a difference?
You can make it up there, but that's all you can do
All
this
right.
round.
Okay.
So redoubling yourself, you're able to bowl through these things, dodging out of the way. You make your way up the steps, and you're now standing close to Roderick as he's facing off against the ghost pirate captain.
Let's be real. I'm standing behind Roderick.
That's fair. And it's the boss's go. He's going to use. So he's used 3 raises, so he's at 12. He has to use 2. He had to use 2 more to ignore you, so that's 10. So he's currently at 10. So what he's going to do is he's going to spend 2 extra raises, and he slashes his dagger across your chest, Roderick, or he slashes his cutlass across your chest, Roderick, and then comes up to try and gut you with his dagger, doing 3 wounds to you.
Okay. And I can spend raises to defeat wounds, right?
Not from a villain like this.
Okay.
Only if they're hazards. The villain acts like you do, where he can just spend raises to do wounds to you. Unless
Well, the villain is a dick.
Hang on. Unless you want to spend 4 raises to negate it. I just remembered that you can start bidding each other out.
Okay, because all I'm going off is on the cheat sheet. It
Yeah.
says to avoid a wound, 1 raise per 1 wound.
Yes. So you can spend 3 raises to ignore those 3 wounds.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay. So that you're 9, 8, 7, 6. You're at 4 raises now? 3 raises now?
I'm at 5.
2 to
'Cause
get
I
up
was
there, 2 to act.
Right.
Takes you
So-
at least down to 4. At least down to 5. And then 3 to negate those wounds takes you to 2. Right?
Probably. My math is probably wrong.
It's 2. We're definitely at 2. But now it's your go.
Okay, and do I still have to spend 2 to attack him?
You only have to spend 1 this turn.
Okay, then I'm gonna attack him.
Okay? What does that look like?
I'll kind of sigh. I'm like, well, that didn't work, and just kind of do a backhand with my blade across his chest.
I like it. And you actually see like this energy fleck off him as you hit him, and it kind of off into the universe. And then Raphael and Sella both still have raises.
No, I don't.
Oh no, you have to use your 2. That's right. Sella, you still have 1 raise. Like, what am I doing on a ghost ship?
Yes, like, why am I here? Who the hell are you? No, I was thinking of doing, like, I don't know if this is a valid move, but doing, my virtuoso, but doing, like, a dance of, like, not quite 7 veils, but kind of, like, a dance of, like, conflict resolution. So I'm kind of stripping, kind of not.
I like it because it's so thematically you that you're gonna get a roll on this. I'm gonna let you make a roll.
Okay. And I was gonna do perform and resolve since it's kind of like.
Yeah, do it up.
Okay.
Yep. You haven't used perform yet, so go ahead and add an extra die. And you can use a hero point to add an extra die if you'd like.
Yes. Wait. Yeah, script. Oh, bless.
And you have 5 dice in perform, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so reroll the 10 and reroll the 1. Okay, so that's a 10, so we're at 56. And then reroll the 1.
And so it's another D10, right?
Yeah. So we are at 55 plus 8 is 63. So yeah, you get 6 raises. What is the story you tell that you are attempting to calm all of this down?
So Sella, it's kind of just the equivalent of a song, but because of her background and her raising, she, before she decided to go be a pirate, she just starts doing a dance and kind of humming to herself, humming to the ghost of easing conflict. It's one of her, I kind of want it to be her bard background.
Okay.
So she's telling a tale of how this is the worst interpretive dance. But she's telling a tale of how somebody had to overcome the worst conflict, like an old pirate, a pirate legend almost, and she's telling it through dance, and is very much just trying to not quite soothe the ghost guy, but
yeah,
just get him to not.
Okay.
And to get him to calm down and either talk to us calmly or just to completely move on from what his issue is. And while I'm doing that, it's kind of opening up a window of opportunity for Ulfric to potentially try and slip that key into the thingy.
And that is exactly what it does. He's not gonna go away, but you tell this tale of an Innish lass who long ago lost their captain to the sea, and the great sadness and regret in her life for not having been as true to that captain as she could have been. And it's this ancient tale that every Innish person knows. You being also from the same country, essentially, as him, you know many of the same folk tales. And for a moment you see his guard slip, and he kind of looks over at you, and even the bugs look sad. As he just kind of, he is distracted, which opens up an opportunity. If someone can take it, to get that key into that lock.
Gee, if only somebody hadn't taken it out of my tits.
Listen, you're busy being distracting. He would notice if you took it back out of your tits.
Ulfric,
You would think.
because we're coming to the end, and it's 12:23 here,
Right.
I'm going to give you an extra raise. To do with as you will. That you can use right now.
Ulfric has the key, so...
Exactly.
I am going to take that key and jam it into that wheel lock.
Okay.
Get your mind out of the gutter.
I'm into it. Let's just make it happen. As the captain turns and watches Sella, you find your moment, and you just quickly, and as you turn it, you see the wheel itself start to spin until pieces of it begin to fly off, and the boat begins to fleck away around you, and the captain whips his head over to you, and he screams at you, and he comes at you with both weapons, and as he does, he's blown away into 1,000 pieces of gossamer into the wind. The ship begins to fall around you into pieces, and sparkles of light begin to rise into the air, and with a sploosh, the four
I was
of
great,
you
that includes us, yeah.
fall into the water and are surrounded by this gorgeous emerald green light that raises up into the heavens and slowly disappears. Standing on the shore, mouths agape, is nearly the entire town. Our party, having very obviously proved the nefariousness of a ghost pirate ship, have saved their crew. Didn't quite get to undermine the ATC, but that's okay. And I hope have had an amazing adventure. And with that, we will close this one shot.
Yay!
So,
Yay!
first of all, thank you all for being amazing and completely rolling with a new system and like learning it on the fly with me. None of us have ever played this game before. Well, I guess yeah, Jago, you played it a little bit, or you at least tried to get
Very little.
yeah. But none of us have played through a full session before, and so we're all
No.
getting it under us. And so thank you. Never mind. There it is. Thank you. And the four of you were just amazing throughout this, just learning and kind of incorporating things and playing along with it. So thank you. I love you. So let's go around, get your thoughts, your favorite moment from the night, and what you think of the system, because it's new to all of us, and I'd love to get other people's opinions on it. And we will start with Rain.
I really like this system. It's got elements from other games that I've always found intriguing. The picking the trait and setting it with the skill to make a dice pool. It's very similar to like Storyteller and to Legend of the Five Rings. And the exploding dice I was immediately familiar with. It kind of threw me that I could just decide what weapon I had.
Yeah.
Like, well, he's German, so Zweihander, I guess.
It is thematically appropriate, indeed.
But yeah, I really like this. I got to get this book.
Super good. And where else can we find you on the internet?
Well, you can find me on Twitter at Raingo surrounded by X's. You can find me here playing Legend of the Five Rings every Sunday, playing Ravnica every Monday, and playing Masks every Friday. And then you can also find me on Dungeon Masters Guild, where I create products. And I just released a 10 subclass package for Ravnica.
Awesome. Yes, everyone should go check that out, by the way. It's going to be sweet. When I get paid, I'm going to be buying it. Got to support our local creators. But I got to get paid first. Meg.
Hello. I absolutely adored this game. For those of us that have played with me or who've watched me on stream, y'all know I'm chaotic as hell. And I honestly adored this whole setting. I loved the game a lot. I don't generally do a whole lot of stuff, so I'm glad I got to do this one.
Yay.
You can find me at Twitter, Narnia's Pants, all one word, no caps, just there. And just kind of join me in my ramblings of random stuff that happens in my daily life. That's kind of all that happens. I will be doing another one-shot soon, based off of the corniest song about actual cannibal Shia LaBeouf on the 30th, thanks to Madame Ulfrig over here. And yeah, that's my life. So
Yay. Okay. Shannon.
Yeah, so my favorite moment from the night was actually probably Raphael talking that crowd down with that amazing, like, shame them into just doing what is probably the right thing to do anyway. So nice work, yo. That was pretty ballin'. And I don't really do social media, so what I like to do with this is give a shout out to something that I really enjoy online, if that's okay. And my shout out tonight... My shout out tonight will be for the podcast Dames and Dragons, which is a 5e Dungeons and Dragons actual play podcast featuring some awesome women and non-binary peeps. Just nerding it up, and it's so wholesome. It's so wholesome. You guys have got to check it out. It's so good.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Sweet. And now I'm afraid I'm going to say it wrong because I'm terrible. But Jago.
So my name is Don.
Don.
You can just call me Don.
Yay. Okay. I like to use the internet unless people tell me it's okay otherwise. But Don. Okay.
No, it's totally fine. I have to take this name back after all.
Okay.
It sucks. Anyway. So yeah, my name is Don. On the Discord, I am Jago. I do not have the Twitters. However, I do have a podcast that does have the Twitters. We are Drinking with Nerds, at nerds_drinking. We bullshit about a bunch of just wild and different topics while getting smashed on craft beer. It's a super amazing time. You can find me here on More Welcome to the Party stuff on Fridays, with Rain playing Masks, which has been super fun for the first session and not traumatizing at all. Um, but other than that, that is me, and expect to see me on probably some more of these side quests.
Yay! And I am Sean, also known as Throck. I was a storyteller for the evening. I had a lot of fun with the game, and you all had memorable moments to me. There were pieces of everything that I loved. Just the rank and rapid sexuality of Meg, and the sneakiness combined with ass kickery of Rain, and the smart and smarm of Ulfrig, and then the verbosity, the strategic verbosity of Raphael, all I think played into the system really well, and I just loved playing with you all the night. It was so much fun. So thank you. You can find me Friday nights playing D&D at 9 p.m. Eastern. It's this week. This week we have a one shot, and then next week we start our new D&D game, which is actually set in this world, and steals some of the rules from 7th Sea, but bolts them on to D&D, because my team likes D&D, I like D&D, and we want to do Dungeon Delves on top of everything else. So we're using the world of Thea along with hero points and backgrounds and stuff in the world of D&D. So come check that out. You can also find me on Sundays at 1 p.m. Eastern running Legend of the Five Rings, and 8 p.m. Eastern running Shadowrun. And then I'm in our Rifts game on Tuesday night, and our Blades in the Dark game on Wednesday night. I'm in too much stuff. Other people need to do stuff. I need to give room for other people to do stuff. Anyways, all right. With that, I want to say we love you. Don't forget to thank our sponsors. They're amazing. You can get 15% off Tabletop Loot by using WTTP Dice at tabletoploot.com. And you can sign up for a free account at Roll20 by clicking on the link below. And we love you all very, very much. And we're going to go raid a dear friend of ours at Dumpstat Charisma. If you've never been with the Dumpstat Charisma folk, they're awesome. I love them. And we're going to head over there right now, if I can spell and talk at the same time, which I cannot do. Okay, there we go. I got the raid all set up now. Yay! So go ahead and give a big ol' welcome to the party hunk of love to Dumpstat Charisma by copying that welcome to the raid below and throwing it in with any emotes you may like. So we're going to be out, and we love you. Bye! Okay, we're out.